Hello everyone and welcome to the Community Spotlight. We've got another edition here for you all today with New Super Lucky's Tale. It's going to be a race to start things off with any percent. But before we get into that, just have a few quick announcements for everybody related to Hotfix. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Random Number Generation. It's a show about randomizers and randomizer communities, as well as randomizer adjacent content like bingo and that sort of thing. They're going to be having Celeste on tomorrow. It's going to be a bunch of fun, and they'll be starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you've never seen that show, make sure you check that out. It's quite a bit of fun. Sky Bills hosts that, and it is a good time. As well as the all-women speedrunning event Frame Fatales is coming back this November with Fleet Fatales, Game submissions have already been closed, but the volunteer and prize submissions will be opening up this October, so keep your eyes open at gamesdonequick.com/framefatales. You'll see all of the upcoming dates and information for that. But we've got some people here to help us out with New Super Lucky's Tale today. We've got Chris, Metoxy, and White Paws. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm doing alright, thank you very much for asking. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Why don't you all give a quick introduction of yourself so people can hear your voices?
Alright, so who wants to go first?
Runners, come on.
Yeah.
You're in the spotlight.
I'll go first. Okay, so I'm White Paws. I am currently at second place in any percent. I also run Crash, so people may know me through that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm Quantum Chris. I am the world record holder for this game in the category of any percent, and this is my main game that I'm speedrunning now. I previously have spedrun games such as with Oddworld, like Abe's Odyssey and Exodus, and New and Tasty, but this is so far my main one that I'm running.
Yeah, and I'm Metoxy, and I picked up this game on release for the PC version, and, well, let's just say I changed the route a little bit and found a couple of things that we will be showing off today. It's gonna be fun.
So, somebody give me the overview of this game, because I actually wasn't aware of this game until it was suggested to my forum, and I'm sure a lot of people in chat haven't seen this before. So what can we expect to see today out of these speedruns?
Wall climbing, a lot of smashing our heads against the wall and climbing it that way, a lot of the glitches, cutscene skips, and interesting platforming. It's basically a kids platformer, but the speedrunning makes it more interesting from a platform perspective.
Yeah, this game actually wasn't that broken until Metoxy just came around and kind of broke it. There's a bunch of stuff that has just been found recently that's pretty insane.
Yeah. So if you've seen this game, this has been played on a couple of marathons already, and if you have seen this is going to be completely different, because this is like, I don't know, 10 newfound things in 2 or 3 weeks. So,
oh goodness,
it's gonna be fun.
Right. Well, we've got a long cutscene to start things off, so I think the plan is we're gonna get that started, and we can keep talking about the game here a little bit while that's going. So, why don't you give us a countdown, Metoxy, and then we'll get going.
All right. So, on go from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, good luck, Chris.
All right. Yeah, good luck, guys. So, as I said, this is a platformer with a young audience, or directed at a young audience. And basically the story revolves around this magic book that this bad cat, by the way, correct me, guys, because I'm not... I skipped this.
I honestly don't even remember much how it goes, but it essentially goes like this. They have like the Book of Ages, which is like the one powerful thing or whatever that gives you some sort of power that the bad guys want. And then there's the kitty litter, which are the bad guys, so there's a bunch of cats, pretty much, that want to steal the book. And then, well, here you see the foxes running away, but then they get caught. Whoa. Insane.
Yeah, and we get sucked into the book or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we're stuck forever. until we defeat the kitty litter.
Yeah, so Lucky is the one that gets pretty much sucked in, everyone else is outside. And all the pages get scattered, so you have to collect some pages. Yeah, and yeah.
So normally we found out that this long cutscene can be skipped. Like OG runners of this game, they don't mind watching this, but when I came I was like, oh my god, I can't stand 2 minutes and 49 seconds of this every time I reset, because I'm
Yeah, you can
very
pretty much get up and
reset
make a
heavy.
sandwich
Yeah.
in the time the cutscene ends.
Yeah, I'm a very reset heavy runner, and basically I found out that if you have a save file, you watch it, you can actually even change the language, because normally this game defaults to English every time you start a new game from the main menu. It doesn't matter which language you set, it always will default to your PC system language, basically.
It's really
And-
strange too, because in Switch it didn't.
Yeah, that's I don't know why, but basically I timed this, and we normally, or Chrissy and me, we start the timer at, or Chris and me, we start the timer at 2:46. Not no 49.6.
It's 246.
It's 46.90. Yeah.
2:46.90. Yeah, thank you. Basically, and we then skip all of this, but then watch the level intro, which comes now. What you're gonna be seeing is we will have we will have 5 worlds we're gonna be playing through. All of the worlds will be locked, or the bosses will be locked by a certain amount of pages that we need to get. Those will be displayed in the overworld once we leave the first level. And in order to get the right amount, we have the opportunity of getting 4 pages in each level. It's always a level completion page, a 300 coin page, a secret page, and a page for collecting the lucky letters. We'll see those. So the run starts right away with the main glitch of this game, which is the bonk hop. So normally we would have to activate a couple of triggers to open that gate, but by just smashing our heads against the door and slashing and jumping and repeating the process, we are able to just gain height infinitely and climb up that wall.
I messed it up like an expert already.
Yeah, and there is a specific rhythm to the bonk hopping, which you can see in my input display. And we'll be doing that throughout the run, so when you watch it, you can look at my input display and see the rhythm for it.
Yeah, on the left side of your screens, you'll see on the top just the Xbox controller from Chris. So basically this level revolves around routing the coins and the letters you're getting. It's actually very tight. We're going to be getting either exactly 300 coins or just above.
Yeah, I get at most like 303.
Yeah, something like that. Like I think my max is 3.8 or something.
I'm already low on coins, pretty cool.
Ooh, yeah, I just saw it. So he's now gonna go behind this because there's a gem. So the gems count for 50 coins, normal coins count for 1, bigger coins count for 10, and little purple gems count for 25. He's gonna activate the little switch, so he can now get this head, which is the main level requirement for finishing it. And he's on the right side. We see white paws. You normally want to have 150 here. He's short.
Yeah, I'm super low.
Yeah,
I told you.
151's the consistent winner.
I'm
Yeah.
super low on
Off.
coins.
So basically,
Don't worry, I got this.
yeah, he got this. There is backup coins for this. So basically, we want to get the 3 heads to activate this bell, to activate the giant golem you see in the background there. There's no way around this. We need to do this. And in order to do so, and to get all the other requirements, like the letters and stuff, we're gonna do one little trick here, which is delivering this ball while going and getting the U, which is actually very timed, because this cutscene starts before you get the U. That's a major time loss, because that platform that reveals the letter will be
I
up
got
again.
it. Sweet. Normally,
And
I
I
don't get both
normally
those
miss
heads.
that. Oh, nice. I never get that jump.
Yeah, it's really rare for me to get that.
Yeah.
That's one of the like pixel precise spots in the game.
Did you see what happened?
That's what happens to me every time. I don't know what you're complaining about. So basically,
I mean, I'm
You
not
wanna-
complaining, but
yeah, you want to optimize the like jump up when the flowers are actually lowering, and then kill both at the same time, which
Yeah,
for
this
me
spot's
is
despawned here for some reason.
impossible. Oh yeah, perfect. So on the left side we see one of the moods this game has. It just despawns the level requirements, but if we just
yeah, I
go
got
a
it, I
little
got
bit
it spawned.
further back, it spawns again.
Yeah, I've tried testing different ways to make
Help.
it spawn like consistently. I can't find a way to make it guaranteed. It's just completely random.
that
don't know
bug
what-
was like right in the way. Help!
It happened again for pause there. You put down the head, but it wasn't there, so you had to run away to make it spawn. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, correctly. So he puts down the head, then goes away, and then all the triggers are there. I don't know exactly how it works, but basically it just despawns that little area. As you saw, there was no bell, there was no golem standing there. It was like just empty shadows. Does that happen somewhere else as well?
The Z-spawn thing?
Yeah.
No, not like that. I don't think.
But you can explain the alting as well.
Oh yeah, correct. So now on the left side we just saw Chris alting out, so basically resetting the game, like a hard reset. He quits the game and restarts. That skips a cutscene. So after each level, normally it counts down how many pages we collected, and on the boss door, which we now didn't see, it counts those down as well. And it's faster, at least for this world, to quit out and combine the cutscenes later. When you quit out in a world, it will always put you at the default position of that world. So that means that for some worlds, it's actually not faster, because you're closer to the boss door when coming out of the level than you would be at the default position. And I think we only do this in this world. We
It's
thought
only the
it-
first world, and then like the first 2 points in the second world, and then that should be it.
Oh,
I
you
only
quit
do it
out
in
in
this
the
world.
You quit out in the foxhole?
Yeah, the first foxhole, and then Piggy Parrot like quit out. And then
Alright,
that's it.
crazy. Alright, so this level, this is an auto runner. I think every world has one. And basically, there is not much to say here, other than there's little optimizations like homing boosts over to the birds and getting like corner slides.
What's
So yeah, this is
homing
something I didn't
boost?
mention. Ah, sorry, what?
What's a homing boost?
So there's this mechanic of burrowing, as you have seen. I have not explained this. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, when you press your right trigger, Lucky will, if he's on Earth, burrow in and go a little bit faster than normal. So that's our main movement, as you can see on the left screen right now. If he hits solid ground, he will go out. And if he presses RT in midair, or if you press RT in midair, it will like dash towards the ground and then burrow in if it's not solid, and just bonk if it's solid ground. And if there's an enemy underneath him, it will home towards the enemy. So that's what we're doing in the auto runners. We take the minimum distance that you need to actually lock on to an enemy, and then boost over to him. So this is mission on the left screen. This is the first boss.
I'm gonna try and do a little strategy to get all the heads at once. Might be able to get it here.
Yeah. So basically it says 3 phases. He's gonna spawn golems. You need to kill all the golems.
There we
And
go.
then yeah, so he's combining all the golems to get every golem at once.
Literally, it saves 0 time at all. It's just a sweat
Yeah.
strat because it looks pretty cool.
I mean, it might save a little bit.
Actually, I don't think so.
In here, you
Like
can
a-
bonk hop up this barrier. It's really
Yeah.
nothing useful, but you can just see how beautiful the world looks, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art style of this game is pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Invisible walls are everywhere, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for that, because the walls are impenetrable in this game. Except very few exceptions. So I've tried a lot of things to get through walls or through doors that are locked, and they're pretty well programmed. I've had other games where I've done glitch hunting that didn't have this kind of wall. That's crazy. Anyways, all the bosses are going to be more or less the same. They're going to have 3 phases. In between each phase, normally they will give you health refills. In this case, you have the option of getting a health refill or gems. So if you collect all the gems while you're on full health, it's going to drop additional gems. This is basically for your casual playthrough. So you can unlock costumes and whatnot. It doesn't change anything in the speedrun. We never get health anyway, or gems. Boss levels only
I'm
requirement
getting gems for the fans.
Yeah. Boss levels only requirement is to actually kill the boss. And they're all pretty straightforward except one. So now on the left screen we're coming up into World 2, which is introducing its main villain, which is Tess. And well, basically every world has this little problem with the kitty litter, and one of the kitty litter agents is stationed in that world, basically, and making life hard for the indigenous inhabitants of this region. And basically, this is Tess. We're gonna visit new levels, which are the foxholes. So this is our first foxhole. Foxholes are like little mini game or side levels, which always will only contain 1 page. In this case, this is a physics ball game, which I really hate that it's back in the route. We thought a different level would have been faster, but now this is faster, and this can lose so much time if you forget a coin or something.
Or if you just roll past one. I'm absolutely terrible at these levels, so it's very good that I did that quite well.
Yeah, this was actually very clean. So you're quitting out here again, right?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. And that saves time, really. Well,
It doesn't for me. Sad.
yeah. So basically, of course, quitting out will always be dependent on the rig a little bit, but the main differences in this game are actually version differences. So both runners here are playing on the Xbox Game Pass version, which has, well, for me it has a load time or reboot time from quitting out until I get back control of, I think, 18 seconds. For Chris it's 12, so his PC is just way better. And White Paws was playing on Epic, and he had like 30 seconds or something, so it's a very, very big difference. And for him, none of these saved time until he picked up the Xbox Game Pass version. So if you plan on running this, get it on Xbox Game Pass or Windows Store and hit us up. We will teach you the ways. So this is Piggy Peril. Piggy Peril is a level that is heavily based on one specific cycle that will be coming up on Chris's screen soon. So one of the letters, the K, is tied to background. What is it? Water mills?
Oh, I missed the cycle.
Please don't crash, game.
Yeah, this level is very difficult for this K cycle.
This game crashes.
There
on
it
me.
is. You just saw the K go by.
Yeah, I
And
just
now we
barely
need
missed
to
it.
wait. Yeah. It's like if you're a little bit, I don't know if it's even a fixed cycle when you enter it. It's very weird.
It
with
is.
the
It is
cycles in
fixed.
this loop. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, coming up on Chris's screen is a little trick that we found out. So you're normally supposed to go through all the foxholes and get the thing, but if you position yourself right, you can actually lock on to the foxhole in the foreground and just ignore the whole path there. So that's very, very cool. Here you can bonk up over the little barrier and the level is done. Let's see if White Paws actually gets the
That
the
should
good
be
K
the last
cycle.
instance for me to alt. Should be done for that point.
Yeah.
Let's see if my game doesn't crash.
It won't.
Because my game tends to crash at this point. Okay, didn't.
Yeah, so it crashes when you come out of that cutscene area.
And he's
It crashes
okay
on the
with the K.
cutscene.
So he had luck with the K here.
I mean, on the
Really?
checkpoint. Yeah. They had a good K.
And also Y first try, that's also very good. On Quantum Chris's screen on the left, we can now see what's this level called? Ripe Rollers. There we go. As most levels, it's also heavily cycle based, but in this case, it's the little balls that you have to jump on. If you like, there's coins that are too high to normally get, and if you miss some of these little, well, bouncy balls, you will have to wait longer, and that's the major time loss here, I think. Especially here. So this is a little side area, which, what does this contain? The hidden page, yeah. The hidden page. And he has to collect all these coins. He does this in a very specific order, and the ball cycles were good to him. Well, I say that, and then...
Yeah. I couldn't death abuse properly. I really shouldn't have tried to home onto the ball.
I'm so sorry. Alright. So,
Oh man. Well, that probably will mess up the cycle till the end.
as I mentioned earlier, the coin routes are pretty tight. In this case, he needs 9 more coins, which is no problem because there's 30 here to finish this. If you're under 196 or 94, I'm not sure.
I think
what
it's
the exact number
94.
is.
94, yeah.
I think, yeah.
If you're under 194 here, you can actually just restart the level because it's not gonna work. Here you get 106 coins, and you always need the 300 for all the 4 pages, otherwise it's a major time loss because you need to get an additional page from one of the foxhole levels, which is roughly 20 seconds every time. Not counting loads. Is this the last level?
No, there's a...
Oh no, yeah. Another ball level, right? Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the greatest, right? For me.
This level is kinda unforgiving. I mean, to be fair, for a kids game, I mean, no, the casual playthrough, I think the whole casual playthrough...
I'm gonna damage abuse here to get past these rocks.
Oh yeah, you actually do this. That's actually cool. A little damage boost. That only works if you actually dash while you're in midair. If you do it from the ground, you don't have enough momentum for some reason.
Yeah.
Although you don't gain any speed. But basically, as I was saying, this game is pretty unforgiving in the speedrun sense. Not in the casual playthrough, it's a very forgiving game. You can actually make it to the last world, which is, or the DLC world, without dying. But if you run this and try to optimize it, it gets very brutal because it's so cycle based.
Yeah, this game is... I actually really like that of this game, that it's so cycle
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
Because it makes optimizing really fun. Because you're always like, oh, what little optimization can I do to maybe catch this one cycle? And I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah, this game is by far one of the funnest games I've had for speedrunning.
It's also a very easy to pick up game. So if you're
Oh, yeah.
like kind of interested in speedrunning, this is a very good.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super
tricks are
beginner
not too
friendly.
hard. Yeah, very
Yeah, like-
beginner friendly.
Definitely the hardest movement tech in the game is bonk hopping, which again is just rhythm. It's not that difficult to learn.
No, it took me, I don't know, a couple of hours of practice to get semi-consistently.
Yeah.
And it's a good play. Like the platform challenges that the casual playthrough throws at you are actually kind of cool. To be fair, it's a fun game. All right, we're coming up to the boss fight test again. 3-phase, wait boss. So we're waiting for her to attack. Then we get a hit in. Then she attacks again. Then we get another hit in. etc. As I said earlier, after every phase they give you like health refills. In Tess's case, it's not gonna be by collecting gems. It's gonna be tied to the enemies that she spawns. So she attacked, we dodged, we activated the levers, she got hit, and now she spawns a wave of enemies. If we kill those, we get a heart back, which in this case is not necessary because Quantum has played this once or twice and he's at full health.
Yeah, there's actually some kind of animation skips in this fight, depending on two things.
Oh,
The first,
really? We know what it depends on?
well, at least I do.
Really?
The first one is on the enemies. If you kill them as fast as possible, she comes also closer to you as fast as she can, otherwise she waits. And at the end, you also have to hit the levers as fast as possible.
Oh, really? I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed the quick go away, but like the disappearing, but never the enemy thing. Anyways, this is the last hit. He's gonna stand on the forward corner to get those two in one go. Then activate the ladder one and these three on the left side. And that's Tess. And now let's see if she goes away fast. Is that the fast one? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think I got the fast one.
What triggers that? Do we know that?
No idea.
Honestly,
know
for
how
me,
to
I
do
just
it.
jump off the edge like that, and it triggers a fast one. So
Alright.
that's all I know for it.
So
I
basically,
don't really jump off of it, and I get it. So.
Yeah, I also got it once from the platform. It's so weird. Like this game, I don't know. We will be coming up to a boss that's actually, well, it's also a 3-phase fight, but it's not.
We'll, yeah, talk about it.
You'll see. Just wait for the next world.
It's hype.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
actually.
So for example, here, I'm gonna try to get this as fast as possible, and even if I don't jump off the ledge, I should get it. Look, I'm
Let's see.
gonna go get it on the platform. See, it's the
let's
fast
see.
one.
Yeah, that's the fast one. So basically, we were talking about the her leaving the arena animation, or her leaving her, I don't know what that is, robotic mantis. That's what I call it at least. And she sometimes does it slow, mostly for me, and sometimes she does it fast. All right, so we got another foxhole level coming up, and this time it's a puzzle. But we skip, like with the bonk hopping, we actually skip the solution and we skip a cutscene every time we enter one of these puzzle levels. Because we are able to just bonk hop on the invisible wall that is in front of the screen, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, believe me, I mean, the puzzles are actually cool. The casual playthrough, I really had fun with the puzzles.
Legit, there
Yeah.
were some puzzles that when I played the game casually, I just wanted to pull my hair out.
Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
casually, I think I
There's-
spent like an hour and a half on one of the puzzles.
Maybe
'cause I
maybe
just
I'm
couldn't-
dumb, but like, my god, some of them were actually really hard.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
really
they are.
specifically one of them
Yeah.
that was really difficult.
I like them though. Like I'm a big puzzle fan. I don't know. That's just preference.
No,
Okay,
I
we're
think
coming
they're
up.
cool. I think they're cool.
We're coming up to the bane of this game, which
Oh, yeah.
is
Oh,
leather
definitely.
mat of the mind. So this is a scenario where we have to climb up while fighting cycles and still collecting 300 coins and the secret page and all the letters. And as you can see, this is incredibly.
I somehow
Heavily
saved it there.
cycle-based.
I will take it.
We have like
So-
little optimizations where we bonk hop to skip 1 or 2 cycles or to skip activating a lever, but this can go wrong very easily, and then you're in a kind of a getting over it scenario.
Yeah, you're in a
pause, you
world
wanted
of
to say
hurt.
something?
There's a big issue with this level, and it's that the cycles are actually global, which means they trigger when the game starts, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they're continuously going, so there's no way to get them consistently.
Yeah.
They're
Basically,
always
yeah.
different. You have to adapt. It's pretty annoying, but what can you do?
Nothing.
Yeah, just
Live with it.
adapt.
Get over it. All right. So here it's basically just this:
You're
fight
banned.
the cycles, try to adapt as fast as possible, because you can lose a lot of time if you miss a platform, or oh my god, I hate that little carousel. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Oh my god!
Oh, that save.
sick.
That save pause. That was sick, actually.
Oh my god, what am I doing? Help!
Yeah, it's like you can be put. This level can put you into situations that you're not prepared for, because the cycles are just weird. But it's kind of fun. I actually like the level. So
Yeah,
here's
it's
gonna
fun.
do
I actually really
another
like
damage boost, of which I am not sure if it's faster or not. But
It at least for me it is. And I don't like climbing up
I
the
think
wall.
it depends on cycle.
That
Is
was
it one at
actually
the
a
end?
very decent ladders from what I just did.
I mean, but you can just activate the bumpers then. Anyways,
Oh.
that was a decent ladders. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, that level by far is the most difficult in the game in terms of movement tech. Like, you have to be very precise in your
What am
movement.
I even doing?
I didn't think you were gonna actually reach the wall to bonk hop there, Pause. Oh my
Me
god.
neither. What even?
You were so low. How did you make that?
Yeah, if you look on the right
Um.
screen, that's exactly what I was talking about. Those little hiccups that happen and then destroy everything that you were working on.
This is I'm doing it for the fans.
Yeah. It's just for entertainment purposes and to manipulate the RNG in the upcoming boss.
Oh my god. Okay, I thought I had way less coins. No.
Alright.
Okay. I was like,
So-
yo, I don't have enough. No. 302.
So Chris just went through the second puzzle level unnoticed, and now he's coming up to this is the last auto runner, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. So this auto runner is specifically fun because it features these conveyor belts, which will speed us up. So the upwards conveyor belts are actually basically boring, but here you'll see the first little boost going downwards, and there's a little section where it actually opens up 2 conveyor belts that go down, and Lucky's gonna be very fast, or Chris is gonna be very fast here. So let's see. I think it's coming up over there, right? And I haven't played this in a week. Yeah, he activates the lever, and there he goes. Whoosh, pretty fast. Gets the secret page. Also, these auto levels, actually, although they are auto scrollers, there's a lot that can go wrong. If you, or at least for me, because I'm just bad at the game, but basically, if you do a missed jump or whatever and miss a letter,
Oh yeah, it's death.
it's over. Yeah,
It's death,
over.
and even at the end of the level there, if you miss that blue gem, you have to restart the level because you didn't get
Yeah.
enough points. It's really specific.
For the letters, fortunately in this level there's damage boosts you can do as a backup if you miss the levers to activate them. But other than that, if you are low on coins or anything, well, you're screwed. Okay, we're coming up to the most broken boss in the game.
Definitely.
So-
It has been a collaborative effort to break this
Yeah.
boss.
So when I picked
Not
this
by
game
me.
up,
I didn't do anything.
well, yes. So, when I picked this game up, basically I never watched a speedrun. That's normally how I approach the games, and then I bonk my head against the wall for hours to see if I can find something. And I already had submitted some PBs, and that's when I started watching the world record run, and I noticed that he's using an invisible wall on the sides here to just chill while one of the attack cycles of the boss is going on, and I thought to myself, let's see if we can find something with that. And we actually did. So basically this boss is going to be sitting on his boat while we're on a platform. Then he's going to send his friend Fluffington, which is the big cat that you see on the left screen right now, the big white cat, on the boat, and it's going to try to jump on us and kill us. After that, it's going to release flames coming from the sides. And then it's going to shoot 3 cannons that you can see there. But oh, you don't even need that little invisible platform. You can just jump over there. See, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I do that normally.
All right, so you can jump on these here and wait for the first cannon shot here.
Also,
So-
I am climbing up here. There's no reason to climb up here. I'm just doing it just to showcase how beautiful this
You
game
can
looks.
actually go behind this. You know that, right?
Yeah, I am not gonna do that.
Yeah, don't do that. 'Cause that's actually terrible. But yeah, basically, we go over here and we wait for the first cannon shot. So then I was experimenting with getting more than one cannon shot in and see what happens. At first, nothing happened, And then during one of my PvE attempts, I basically combined 2 faces with each other. Okay, what is happening?
Chris's stream froze.
Oh no. Oh no. Unfortunately, but we're gonna be able to have a visual aid to what I'm talking about on the right screen in a second. So basically, we tried playing around with this. First, I thought it's just faster to shoot the cannon back as fast as possible. Then I noticed that it doesn't despawn the other cannons. Normally how this works is, if you shoot back one cannonball to the boss to hit him, it despawns the other ones. But because you hit it before the other ones spawned, they still spawned. So they're on the platform. So what we're gonna do is hit the first cannonball. Ah! And please don't. Okay.
We're safe, I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna hit
I
the
just
first
did that.
cannonball.
I'm trying for content. So.
Yes, you're just making me really clench here. Please don't. Please stop.
It's part of the excitement.
That is true, yes. So we're gonna hit the first cannonball, then he's gonna jump into the mud and spawn back on the platform and try to hit a second ball. That will, I don't know what it's gonna do, but basically it's gonna skip a whole phase at one point. Chris, who unfortunately is not here anymore.
I should be fine. I put the stream back on.
Alright.
I think he can reconnect me. I don't know what happened. It just randomly disconnected me. Should be good.
Oh my god,
Let me check.
this is so sad. This is actually really
I
bad.
see you on VLC.
Oh, whatever. So this actually
it's good
screws
that
up
I was
the
during a boss fight when that happened.
That actually screws it up, but it actually doesn't. Like, this happened to me in a PE run as well.
So you didn't get it? I wasn't looking because I was looking for...
How to explain it? Like, it's gonna trigger a different phase, but you'll see what I mean.
Okay. Is it the one where it just Oh yeah, this is not the full combination. This is the first thing that I found. Then we started playing around with it, and Mooshpaw actually found that you can combine another phase with this.
No, it should be over after this.
Yeah.
After these enemies.
This is actually very unfortunate with the technical difficulties, because
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
know what
actually
happened. My
very
stream,
cool to
it
see.
just cut. Like my Discord froze. I couldn't hear anyone, and then my stream just cut.
It sounded like you.
Never mind.
I think
it's
your
fine
internet
now.
hiccups.
This
Should
is
be
so
fine now.
bad. Oh my god. Just
This
die.
happens.
Is it back to normal now?
Okay, never mind. I didn't get the full thing because I'm bad at killing cats.
This happens, but we still don't. Well, I don't know what triggers it, but basically we combine the phases, and then we go back on the boat, and that triggers him to die faster than he normally would, because he would still shoot a cannon at us.
This is epic.
None of us knows what actually does this, I think.
They didn't actually shoot the cannon, by the way.
They
Because
didn't?
I had already like gotten the hit, so
This is so weird. This boss is one of the weirdest and most broken bosses, but basically it's I think to the normal way of killing him, this is a 1.5 minute time save or something like that.
It's like 45 to 50 seconds. I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a massive time save.
yeah, it is a lot.
M3
Even the one
originally found
that
you
I just did is like 30.
Yeah, M3 originally found that you can jump over it, and then the rest of us just trying to optimize to see how you could break it.
Well, that wasn't good. Oh well.
Well, that's what happens when you when you land on the floor for the puzzle.
Alright. We're coming up to World 4, which is basically just one level. We have 2 puzzles we have very little pages to collect here for getting into the boss, which is Lady Meowmalade. We're doing 2 little puzzle levels, and then we're doing 3 CS, which Quantum Chris is entering, 3 Cannon Salute. We call it 3 CS, basically.
It's actually really hard. That level is pretty difficult too.
Really?
It's not as bad as the ladder, but I think it's pretty difficult.
I mean, it has a lot of obstacles, and it's a lot of navigating. Like, this is less cycle-based, to be fair.
There is
But
a
it has
cycle right at the beginning with the cannonball, but that's it.
Oh yeah, that's true. So basically how this level works is, you saw Quantum Chris just grab a gem through the wall, which I will point out
Where
on
am I?
White Paws
Okay.
as well when he gets there. But basically, the dudes that we just destroyed are back, and they're shooting cannons at us. We normally need to wait for them to open up little paths in this level, like the way to this U and the door coming up. But I also found out that if you just jump towards
I didn't get it.
Unfortunate. Maybe we will see it on White Pulse. But basically,
Hopefully.
that wall doesn't exist. It's a normal jump towards, and
I'm
you
super
get through.
bad at it, so...
Yeah, I'm really terrible at that jump for some reason.
Really?
You say it's like perfectly fine for you, I just can't get it for the life of me.
I literally just hold right.
It's funny because like hearing all of you talk about this game and different issues, like you all say different things are difficult for you, and that different
Yeah, we all
things
have
are
different
easy.
experiences of difficulty.
Yeah, that is actually true. But I sent so many videos of me with the input thing, and I just hold right. I don't do
Listen, man,
anything
I've
else.
tried copying it. It doesn't work for me. Trust me.
That is so weird. Man. This game,
Hey, please don't break. Please, camera, don't break on me.
Yeah.
And
so
the camera broke on me.
what did it? Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what happened here is he left the little side room while he was getting hit, which for some reason lets the camera think he's still in the room, and then it just locks to that room.
It honestly
it
does
doesn't-
that
it-
even when I don't get hit. It does it
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
like all the time. Guaranteed.
All right, second try.
I
So
think it's
first,
speed.
first pause is getting that little gem through the wall, which is the double grab, named after Double Double, who found this. And then he's gonna do Cabana skip.
I'm gonna see if I can get the double hit or whatever.
Cabana skip. You got this.
Not that, this. Okay.
All right, let's see. He grabs the U. Let's see what he does.
Okay, that didn't work out like I would have liked.
Okay. So basically, what I always do is I just jump before I hit the barrels, and then I
Help.
hold right.
Oh my god. Okay, there we go.
Now he's trying to
Ah!
get to that C, which he grabs through this floor, basically. Because Lucky's tail swipe extends very, very far. We also use that sometimes to grab a page early, or a letter from a little bit further away than we should be, or that gem at the beginning through the wall, basically. Alright, so now we're coming up to Lady Meowmalade on the left screen, which is gonna be the most straightforward... Yeah, I know.
It's cursed.
Yeah, it is.
That's fantastic.
I haven't played this for a week, and suddenly I come back to the Discord, and everyone is like, "Oh my god, I soft locked that Meowmalade again." I don't know
I
what they...
crashed. My grandma called me.
Yeah, one of our
more-
fellow runners has a terrible time with Meowmalade for some reason.
Yeah.
I also got the camera lock. Well,
I
now
will
you
say
get
with
to
Meowmalade, she has a
experience
very
this
good song for her boss. It's very much a groove.
Yeah, he loves this song.
Is
What?
it a Moulin Rouge
thing.
parody?
Just let me move. Come on. Ah.
Not really. It's a very custom song, but it's very straightforward. Nice to listen to. So she's again
my God.
a 3-phase boss. She's gonna have these little danger zones that she marks on the ground and the safe zones. We try to stay on the safe zones, then she comes down and starts shooting lasers at us out of her disco ball, because that's how going to parties works, I guess, in that world. And yeah, we can do this, which is basically just swipe over again and stay above the lasers to prevent that, but it's actually pretty hard. You need to mash very, very quickly.
Yeah, also side note, do not go too high up or you will
Yes.
instantly die. And that's the only point in the game where that will actually occur.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why they put that in.
The devs have a kill plane in the ceiling here, although nothing in this game has ceilings. But yeah, this one has. The second phase, also, it spawns enemies. We avoid those and wait for her to give us the next attack. And the last phase combines everything. There's going to be enemies and the lasers and the kill planes all at the same time. It's getting procedurally harder. I think this is the first boss I died to in my casual playthrough, or the first time I ever died in my casual playthrough, because she's actually...
Yeah, it's pretty easy to die, especially in the third phase.
Yeah, on the third phase, I'm just going to be neutral hopping the whole time because I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Is there ice physics, or are you just having fun sliding around on purpose?
Oh, I'm just breakdancing, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess that Chris is someone who likes to keep his hands warm. So what he's doing here the whole time to prevent is he's bonk hopping on that invisible wall on the edge of the screens, which he calls, or we call neutral. What was it? Neutral bonking or neutral hopping? Because I don't do this. I just play.
I don't know. I just put in neutral bon hopping.
All right.
The full name.
I just play the game normally. I don't cheat like you guys do. What is
Okay,
this?
okay. I'll do this fight without cheating.
Alright, so on the right side you can see how this normally works without cheating. No, please don't do it. Just do it as you normally would do it, because if you die, it's gonna be my fault. I don't want this.
Well, at least I have someone to blame it to.
And that is true. That is true. Oh my god. Okay, so we're now entering the last world, in which we're gonna change up the normal rhythm of getting 4 pages in each level. For this world, we're gonna only be getting 2 pages in the first one and 2 pages in the second level. And that is not because, well, yeah, the boss door only needs 4 pages, but we're not getting 4 pages in the first level and then don't touch any other level and go directly to the boss. We have to go through these 2 levels. Basically, he's locking up the place, and the first level contains a ticket that lets us enter the train towards the next island. The game basically wants you to go from island to island and play through the levels in a specific order and then get to the boss. But we're gonna get 2 pages in the first level, as I said, and 2 pages in the second level. And then just skip the other... Is it 2 levels or 1? No, it's 1 level. The auto runner, basically. We're skipping 2 levels. Yeah, we're skipping.
It's Great Awakening and then the auto runner.
I'm just having fun jumping on this guy's head.
Oh yeah, that's also a way of not getting hit in the Miamalite fight. It's actually very easy. Are you doing Clive skip or not, Chris?
No.
All right. So there's a cutscene when getting on the platform on the left side here, and there is a way to skip it, but apparently it's not that much faster, or it's not faster at all. I don't know.
I was about to say I did it without getting hit, but no, I got hit at the end. Damn it.
Too bad, but still good, still clean.
See,
right.
No cheating.
So we need to get 300 gems here, and this level is basically oh, what is the English word for this? It's not a fair. It's a
Carnival?
Carnival. Yeah,
Name
thank
of
you.
the level.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not an
English
native
is impossible.
speaker. Excuse me.
No, I relate.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit hard. I'm trying my best though. I hope you understand me in chat. Anyways, it's based around a carnival theme, so you have to get these tickets to open up the cages which contain basically the level end page. And there's a very fixed route, which I'm very confused about why you're actually getting this, Chris.
Oh, I was on autopilot. Whoops. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I should be going all the way over here.
All right, yeah. So he's not supposed to be
out.
getting this. He's not supposed to be getting this. But basically, we're going to be getting the 300 coins and 3 tickets to open up the end level page and 300 coins on the way to that.
I was just getting coins, extra coins, just in case.
Yeah, all right. He was getting extra.
Yeah, I
coins.
was thinking in my head for explaining something later, and I completely spaced out.
It's fine. Anyhow, now we got 2 tickets, which would let us get some of the prizes, but we only want 1 prize, which is the end level page. That means we need 1 more ticket. Fortunately, this level contains enemies, which will drop coins. Brings us closer to our goal of 300 coins as well. And after this, because this minigame has a technical malfunction, which is...
You know what? For the fans.
Are you skipping it? All right.
for the fans.
So on the right side, you're gonna see Clive skip.
No!
We
What was that?
we slide into the cutscene and trigger it anyways.
I'm actually surprised you missed it.
You skipped
I
the skip.
slided. I've literally never slided on that that
It's
bar.
very hard. It's very. I mean, it's one of the more technical things. It took me a while until I got that one done.
It actually may not even save time, by the way. I was just doing
Yeah.
it for defense.
We kind of. Anyhow, we now got the 3 tickets on the left side, as you can see, and we're going over to that page, activating the cage, and getting it. This will now activate the second level, which is on the same island as this level is, which is the Terror Train, Train of Terror, right?
Wait, now Pause is doing the thing. Oh, okay, you're just doing that.
Yeah, you only
there,
need to go
okay.
halfway.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, after this, going right into Spooky Train, there is a weird little cutscene skip that you can do.
Is it me or is there a DLC? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was me, sorry.
I was too confused. I was like, is this me? All right, so we're doing a little cutscene skip here. Also a little thing that I found. If we get a right angle here, we can skip. Yeah, perfect. We can skip a little cutscene trigger, which saves a little bit of time and get into the level right away. And coming up now is Train of Terror or Terror Train, or is it actually Terror? I don't even know. I played this game on Japanese.
I don't even know, honestly.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward. The cycles are very friendly in this. Always the same. Not really worrisome, to be fair. It's just you go through the level, collect one extra page, which is the secret page, and the end level page. This is
I
one of
missed the
the
page.
easier and less technical levels. Did
I
you?
need
I
it.
want to pick up the page. There we go.
Oh god. Yeah. Basically, that's the easiest page to get as well, or the fastest page to
Oh my
get.
god, okay. I got a lag spike and
Also, for example, I missed one of the pages in the first level of this world, and you can, as a backup, get the 300 coins here, which is very good, because then you can get 3 pages here, and the 300 coins is not that big of a deviation, because you get a lot of gems in this level. So this is a very easy, forgiving level.
Yeah, and
And
coming
now-
up is going to be the Haunting Ham skip.
Yeah, which Quantum Chris is gonna be doing a little variation, which I hope White Paws is not doing it because he's not insane. But
I'm not.
all right, yeah, you're not doing it. So basically, like I said, there's these little islands, and we're now skipping this level to get over to the next island. We're doing this by bonk hopping up a little ledge here to the right, and then doing a very, very, well, cruel jump over to the other side and bonk hopping.
Yeah, so the
This
intended way
is
to do
gonna
it. Yeah, the intended way to do it is to neutral bonk hop just straight up vertically, but I am dumb and
Yeah.
I can't do it properly, so I just made my own way to do it. And
Yeah.
if you want to, you can look at my input display and you can see that there's a specific rhythm that I have
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, very. I don't want to do this ever. So I hope that this doesn't ever get confirmed as faster. But
You're
basically,
basically
yeah.
hitting right trigger and A at the same time. If you do it a little bit off, then he's gonna slip and fall down.
Yeah. What this also does is he's gonna skip a cutscene as well, which might be a little bit faster, but I'm not sure. Anyways, we skipped the first island. Now we need to get to the last island, which is the boss island. And in order to do that, we try to bonk up off this tree, which has very weird geometry. Like, it's actually very hard to get up the tree. You can slide off very easily. And we're over, and we are in the boss level.
Okay, let's hope I don't die here, because I tend to die because it's a very long fight, so I tend to get a little impatient and reckless.
So I have an internship meeting like in 7 minutes. So I have to finish this.
You got this.
Wait, what?
You got this.
It's through Zoom, don't worry.
You should be able to finish it within 7 minutes, as long as you don't die.
It is 7, yeah, like 5 minutes tops. I've seen your runs, White.
Help.
All right, on the right side you can see the normal way of doing this, the intended way of doing the unintended way, which is just bonk hop up here.
Yeah, look at how much easier it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called neutral bonk hopping, so it's just let go of the stick, well, after hitting the wall pretty much,
Wait,
and then...
There's another way of bonk hopping except that. I always do neutral.
Oh no, the other one is just like holding the direction pretty much.
I
You can do
always
neutral all
slide-
the time, and it's fine.
I always slide down though, when I don't do neutral in this game.
Oh yeah, when you don't do no, you have to do neutral for that one, 100%.
But why only there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I do it everywhere. And
I mean,
it
you
always
can
works.
you can do it anywhere, and it's
Yeah, I think
fine.
it's based off the geometry of the wall, like the specific
Yeah.
angle that it's at.
Yeah, it is.
Like for example,
basically-
in the puzzle
Up that.
pages, since they're at a full 90-degree wall, it's very easy to bonk hop up them.
Alright, so now this is Jinx. Jinx is, again, a 3-phase boss, which is gonna attack us with his laser eyes, and then he's gonna spawn little circles on the floor, and then he's gonna raise the floor and spawn his enemies. We try to eliminate those as quickly as possible, which then puts him into this phase, and where we can hit him. We always have to hit him 3 times, and that counts as 1 total health hit, basically, on his 3 health. Now he's doing the little explosions on the floor again. Afterwards, he's going to be moving the floor. And then he's going to combine that with laser. And I think that in this phase, he already starts doing floor bombs. Yeah, there we go. And another laser. He just likes looking at us. That's all. And like this game, this boss fight, I don't know. I really have my problems with it, optimizing it.
Yeah.
Although the enemies spawn at the same position every time, hitting Jinx himself is actually pretty hard sometimes because he moves away, and sometimes. So basically, you wanna. Well, we're gonna be seeing
Okay, I
this
got a
much
double hit.
again. Oh, really?
Not on the fight, on the enemies.
Oh. That's
Okay,
actually
that
also
didn't
quick.
go.
So on the right
Like-
side, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. On the right side, you can see that like the targeting of him
There I go.
in his last phase is very moody as well. And sometimes you can like fall off that platform because he's not
I'm
not
blaming
letting
that on
you,
the lag spot that I got.
he's not letting you target him properly.
Yeah, sometimes you can't really target him, like in
Yeah.
terms of the diving movement. It doesn't work properly.
And I don't know why. I've fallen off this so often. I think in my PV on his last phase, I actually fall down and manage to bonk hop back up on that, well, Rubik's Cube or whatever that is.
The Rubik's Cube. I'm gonna start calling it that because I do see the resemblance.
I was just about to ask if you were fighting him on a Rubik's Cube, like, but you were talking.
I just kicked the ghost
Great
in the
minds
face. I didn't want
think
to do
alike.
that.
Alright. So now he's gonna have a little variation. I think on the left side, yeah, it's his last phase. Every time we hit him, he's gonna be splitting up. He does this.
See, now I'm able to
until
target him
there's
properly.
3 jinxes. Yeah, see, I have my problems in this phase. Like when he's 3 jinxes, and we're getting up.
There we go.
We're coming up on time, by the way.
Yep.
On the
As
left
I
side.
entered the cutscene, then stop my time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, when he enters the book, which I'm gonna call out, it's in 3,
Time.
2, 1, time.
I'm gonna call it time.
55-16.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
We have delay.
Yeah, Chris is just a little
Yeah.
bit ahead.
Is
Yeah.
this only good for our settlers? Yeah. I'm gonna get like a 56 something.
55-16 is better than my PB, so I don't know what you guys are complaining about. so really cool.
Chris is-
As we're finishing
sorry.
this,
Yep.
what do you think about this run? How did you enjoy this little show off
Yeah,
the
it was,
any percent category?
it was a fun little showcase. I hadn't seen this game before, and I wasn't really sure what to expect from it.
All right.
Whoa, I've never seen that.
Oh,
What is that angle?
yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. You
Okay,
lose
okay.
control
Okay.
of where you're going in this so
What is
easily.
this? Come back here.
He's just hiding out.
Alright. My time should be coming pretty soon. I'm not gonna call it. You call it.
Yeah. All right. And 3, 2, time. Ah, I was a little bit too late, but yeah.
Nice.
56:30. That's not bad, guys.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Marathon
It's
run.
okay.
Considering that this actually, like I said, both of these times are better than my PB. I think my PB is a 57.8 or something. And the
Yes.
world record right now is a 54. What?
Chris's PV is a 53.32.
Mine's like a 50,
Oh, God.
53.32.
And
Sorry.
mine is a my PV is a 54.34.
All right. So yeah, this is pretty close to your PB, guys. So I don't know.
Yeah,
what you're
2 minutes
complaining
off
about.
average.
Chris
alright.
slowed down a few times to explain things as well.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
I was like, I'd rather just showcase and stop while I explain, because if I play while I explain, I can't do it properly.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this in chat. You're gonna be having
Return home.
what is it? All major levels, right?
All
Coming
main
up
All main
levels, yeah.
levels? Yeah.
All main levels, yeah. All main levels,
All
which
main
is gonna
levels,
be
yeah.
showcasing all the levels. So I'm not gonna shout the 2 runners out that are coming, but I want to thank Double for actually putting in a lot of time to help me figure out the load things and other stuff in this game. Thank you for that. And Moosh, who was supposed to run ALM as well, but unfortunately he's too young. For actually helping and finding a lot of breaks in the 3rd boss fight.
No.
And am I forgetting anyone?
Mush, we love you.
Yeah. Te queremos. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it from me. Basically, thank you for having us and letting us show this game here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having our little community to showcase both categories actually, like AML and 90%. It's gonna be hype to see AML. I also have my internship meeting, so I want to give shoutouts also to my Crash friends that are also in the chat watching. Thanks a lot, everyone. Much love.
It's a good segue to remind everybody that Community Spotlight showcases community-suggested games, as the name suggests. If you go to ! Spotlight in chat, if you type that in, there's a form you can fill out. Suggest a game you think deserves a little bit more attention. That's how this game wound up on the show today. Somebody suggested it, took a look, figured it looked interesting enough to put it on the show. Hopped in the Discord, talked to them, we got it figured out. So if you think you know of a game that should be showing up on this show, feel free to fill out that form. Or you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix/spotlight-4. But we're going to take a quick break here while we get set up for the next run, which is going to be all main levels, as they said earlier. But we're going to play a few ads while we're doing that, and as a reminder, Hotfix is supported in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. We'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing, and of course if you subscribe, you won't see the ads. So we will see you in just a few minutes.
Alright, I gotta head out because internships.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Community Spotlight. We just finished our race of any percent for New Super Lucky's Tale, and now we are going to be going into the all main levels category here with King J 0444, or just King J I assume. I've got Steve TV Online here to help with commentary, and I think my first question here is going to be, so I know we skipped some levels at any percent, but how many did we skip? How many more levels are we seeing in this category?
Oh
Yeah, so
boy,
We skipped like a dozen, I think.
or more. There's quite a few that we're skipping.
Yeah. So this category is different from any percent. You saw us rush through the game. We did a bunch of the sub areas where we have to skip a bunch of the puzzles, but now we're doing every main level, and that includes different routing where we don't get every page in each level, and we actually switch up what we're doing.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot more of the game. There is another category called just New Game Plus, which I like to run, but that's just going through the levels. It's basically a bunch of IL levels, individual levels, and this one is actually it's really optimized actually with what King's going to be running through for this. There's some stuff that we have to collect only a certain amount of coins and get the pages, while some we only collect a couple, and then we just get to the end.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm just booting up the game here. So I reset my game and closed it on the PS4 so that we reset our loads. So I did that so that my loads will be 2 seconds faster than if we were just to continue from booting up the game and keeping it on for like an hour. So if we're good on time, I'm going to start on a new game. So on go 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So right here at the very beginning, you saw this at the last 8% race, but I'm going to explain a little bit of in the 80% they talked about technical stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about the history. And the first thing I want to say is back in 2017, when the original Super Lucky's Tale came out for the Xbox One and the PC, I was one of the only people that run the game, and I started the community. And when it came out for the PC and for the Switch, we got a couple more people in, including King J here. And then recently they originally only told us that they were bringing it to the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, but they ended up surprising us and brought it to the PC as well. And that's where we have actually the fastest running for PC, and the fastest console is the PS4, and that's what King J is going to be running that on.
Yeah, so I'm currently running on a PlayStation 4 Pro, and ironically, that is actually the fastest console. So when the new versions came out for this game, we split them into PC and console because PC saves like 2 minutes, 3 minutes over. Actually, no, I think it's like 5 minutes now in any percent, just from loads alone. And so no console has that type of loading capability, even with a solid state drive. So we split it up. Now all the consoles can run together, and PC is in its own separate space. So you guys saw PC in any percent, which makes it really cool because we can do sub-hour now. But now I'm going to be showing it on PlayStation 4. So like Steve mentioned, New Super Lucky's Tale was originally only released on Nintendo Switch for this new upgraded version of Super Lucky's Tale. And most of us ran on it. Most of us have been running the game since the Switch days. And it was completely different back then. There was easier tricks that we could do, and then they announced that they were going to port it over to Xbox One and PS4. And because we were so close with the devs, and the devs love the speedrunners, a bunch of us got a few early copies of the game. Me specifically, I think I got the most. I got 2 PS4 copies, like 2 Xbox copies to give away, and like a bunch of Epic Games copies. But they never told us they were going to release it on PC as well. So leading up to release, we were testing out the game, seeing if loads were faster, and our first impressions were Switch is fastest because it loads 1 second faster than PS4, and then Xbox has the worst loads. I'm sorry, but Xbox One loads like 30 seconds slower than everything.
I have my own splits for just the Xbox alone because of how slow they are, and nobody else will run it. And I just decided I'm just going to do that for casual running from now on because it's not worth even trying to get a fast time in it. But if that's the only version you have, go ahead and play it and learn it. And then if you potentially in the future manage to get a running PC that you're able to stream on, and you do it that way, because if you have the Xbox Game Pass with your Xbox, you're able to play it on the game on the PC for the Windows that way, and that's how I'm able to play it. On a couple of us are able to play it.
Yeah, and not only that, we thought immediately, Switch is going to be fastest, it has faster loads, but it turns out that the PlayStation 4 and all the new versions, they actually just run faster. They run at a steady 60 frames per second, so it just makes it so that their smoother gameplay makes it faster than Switch. So that's why PS4 saves like 2 minutes in almost every category, and that's why currently I have world record in every single console category. I have a full sweep because I'm currently the only PlayStation 4 runner. So yeah.
One thing I want to point out is that on the Switch version, we talked about bonk hopping, where you bonk against the wall, then you tail swipe and jump. But on the Switch version, King and I had to actually change our mindset, because on the Switch version, King and I would do the dive, then jump and tail swipe. So we had to get used to switching our minds over completely to be able to do it properly on here.
Yeah, it's completely different. They try to actually patch out a few things, even though they are very speedrun friendly, the devs. They tried to make things a little bit harder for us to do, and that's one of the things. They made bonk hopping a little bit more difficult, specifically for me and Steve.
So one thing you're going to see right here, if you watch the any%, this is a little bit different. He's just doing this, normally basically an IL run of this level in particular. He's just going to go and grab up the heads as fast as possible, and we're doing them in a little bit different order than you would normally have to do it. You would normally want to go 1, then depending on what you want to do here, you would either go into the burrow hole and go up to grab the head on the left, or you can head over to the right here by going all the way around, bouncing up onto a mushroom or bounce pad, and then grabbing the third head. But with bonk hopping, we're able to get those much faster.
Yeah, another fun fact about this game is that no one ran. Like, me and Steve are kind of like, I like to say that we're the grandfathers of this game, because back in the day, Steve was like my arch nemesis. We used to fight for New Game Plus world record and all main levels world record on console when it was only Switch. So we kind of were the front runners of the game. There was actually one time on Switch that I took every single world record, which had never been a thing, every record for unrestricted. I had a full leaderboard sweep, and it was kind of a monumental thing until White Paws came along and destroyed me in any %, so.
Yeah. Alright, so this next part I can see, King is going to be going in a little bit different route than I do when I run any % or all main levels, which is kind of cool compared to like with routing. You can decide if you want to go from one level to the other, since all the levels are open. In the original Super Lucky's Tale, all the levels were not opened, and you had to unlock them as you went. But here they're all open, so you can choose what pathing you want to do for each one of them.
Yeah, and along with that, you saw that in any %, the runners had to 100% each level, basically, so they could have enough pages to open up the boss. Because we're doing like 3 or 4 levels per world, it's really up to us what pages we get in each level. So you're not going to see us 100% every single level. We're getting the bare minimum amount of pages, so we actually have to route out the fastest pages in the run. And it leads to some really cool routing. Most of it has been I was the first person to ever run this category, so my route has pretty much stuck true throughout the whole thing. There's only like one world that's changed since then.
And in this one, he's just going to be doing the same route that they took in any %, which is just collecting all pages. And if you weren't watching the any %, to get all 4 pages, you have to collect 300 coins to collect the letters LUCKY for lucky, and then you have to find the hidden page, which could be out in the open, or it can be hidden in a burrow hole, and then to complete the level. That's the way to get all 4 of the pages.
Yeah, so these levels specifically, the auto-scroller levels, these are the ones we're always going to be 100%ing, because we have to go right the whole time anyways, so we might as well just get everything along the way.
Yeah, it's kind of a I've failed on these. Luckily it was at the very beginning, but there was one later on in the levels that I have failed. But if you fail on these, it's a massive time loss, and there's no use in really continuing if you fail on one of these. But it is possible if your mind just starts drifting. Then
yeah, true.
you can mess it up.
So like we were mentioning before, if you want to get into speedrunning this game, I highly suggest either getting the PlayStation 4 version if you're going to run on console to compete, or if you just want to get PC. I currently run on the Epic version. I know it's like the slowest version, but that's the one I got from the devs. And then most people run on the Xbox Store version.
So,
Alright,
next you are going to Aqueducts?
Yes.
Okay.
In my opinion, the scariest level in the first bit.
Aqueducts is... it's not changed that much from the original game. There's a couple of things changed here and there, like going into the background, which we will be doing on this one. It's a little bit changed that way, but other than that, it's not changed that much.
And for those who don't know what he's mentioning with like the original version, we're talking about the Xbox One original version of Super Lucky's Tale, in case you didn't know.
And this is our first 2D level. If you saw the any percent, you saw Latter State of the Mind, and that was basically the only 3D one. We're going to be doing, I think, 2 or 3 more compared to the any percent.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, these are the most common levels, like these 2D ones that you will be seeing in any percent. I personally don't like any percent as a category, considering how bare bones it is. So that's why I prefer running these slightly longer categories. Also, nice hit there.
but that's what's so great about this community is there's a run for everybody. There's the any percent for people that want to do a lot of tricks, all main levels for optimization, New Game Plus for just trying to see how fast you can go. There's 100% in all pages, which King also runs those as well. And there's just a category for it. There's even a no bonk hopping category, which only a few people have ever run.
Yeah, I'm sorry to anybody who runs that. It's basically the glitchless, the no major glitches category. Shoutouts to Moosh for actually pulling off the first ever any percent no bonk hopping. I don't know why he did it, but he did.
I've done one. Actually, I've done it technically twice because I failed the first time by accidentally bonk hopping out of sheer muscle memory.
I will say that most of the runners who have like established themselves with bonk hopping and started with unrestricted, which most people will, they won't be running no bonk hop because it's just in our brain. So like it's hard to like unteach yourself to do something.
Well, I imagine like even watching Chris playing around during boss fights while waiting, it would be so hard not to bonk hop while just waiting on boss fights at that point for him.
Yeah, you also just can't save yourself too. If you fall off an edge, there's no way to bring yourself back up. You're screwed.
So this level right here, Go Fetch, is a very interesting level, as in the skip you're about to see King do here is called Giovanni Skip. This skip carried over from the OG or the original game for the Xbox and PC. It carried over, and this trick was found by somebody who didn't even speedrun the game. They just decided, hey, I want to try and learn a speedrunning trick, and he never joined the community. And I happened to be watching him on the day that he decided to learn that, do that trick, and it's just stuck since that happened. Which is kind of funny.
So this level is supposed to be like this huge sort of escort mission where you carry heads around these different platforms, but bonk hopping is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, normally that Giovanni that you carry around there, in order to go up, usually you have to have him and an elevator will lift up. But if you just keep Giovanni there and run and bonk hop at the end of the level, you can just get up to fight. Well, I like to call him Lord Ember. I don't know what his name is in this game anymore because it's been, or in the original, or in this game because I just always call him Lord Ember. That was his original name in the original game.
Also, this level's broken because you're supposed to bring Giovanni to that head place, but we never do. So the door never lowers. So unless you know how to bonk hop, you can't get over that.
Can you get up there without bonk hopping? Like,
yeah, if you bring Giovanni to the very end of the level, there's the elevator that was there that lifted up. Once he gets into the platform, he'll say, "Thanks for carrying me over here," and the wall will lower down, and you can just walk in.
Right here, I'm jumping on the very edge of a platform there. That skips like a 30-second cutscene, and we also skipped having to raise a bridge up by doing something that Edgy the Hedgy, one of our OG runners, actually found. It's called something, I call it middle strat, where I jump off the middle platform on that tower, and it gives you enough height to go all the way across the pit. So yeah, that's like one of the coolest levels to show to anyone how broken this game is.
There's one more coming up in the next level that's even more broken, but we'll save that until we actually get to it. But that cutscene that we skipped is just showing that Lord Ember, the one that was chasing you, is actually now shrunken down. The hand that came down in Heavy Head, or the golem that helped us in Heavy Heads, the first level, actually slams his hand down and shrinks Lord Ember to make him small. Now he's part of the costumes shop for us to go and shop there.
Also, it's a good thing to mention that overworld cutscenes actually do exist. There's one overworld cutscene per world, and it's if you get too close to the shopkeeper. And so there's a few weird optimizations and weird routes I have to go to make sure I don't hit the cutscene trigger.
So King is just going to basically be doing this fight exactly the same as you saw in the any percent. These are really just optimized. And I'm not sure if King does the standing in one spot for the bouncing.
I do, yeah.
Okay, but he'll be showing that trick off where he stands in one spot, and the bouncing fireballs that you saw in any percent, if you stand in that specific spot, they just bounce over your head, and that is an original thing that came from the OG Super Lucky's Tale. Which
There's
is
also something... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
which is kind of fun, just to have a couple of things that came over.
Also, have I ever mentioned that this game is really hard? Like, look at all those bullets down there. Like, I would have had to dodge those, but I mean, I could just stay up here, too. It's pretty cool.
And then another thing is the fast fall that you'll be seeing at the end of this fight was actually found by King. I'm not sure if it was by accident or he was just testing out things.
Just messing around. So basically what happens is the bosses, when they're above a pit, like, they have a ending animation, and for some reason, if you interrupt his falling animation, this is Mittens, by the way, if you interrupt Master Mittens' falling animation, he'll just fall faster, like by a second, and sometimes he does some wonky stuff, like fall towards the camera, so I'll see what I can get.
Yeah, there's some really funky things you can do with that exploit of making him fall faster. As in, one time I managed to make it to where they were super close to each other, like within a frame of each other, by me dying at the same time as I hit him while he was at the bottom of it. And it made it so they were super close to each other and they were just talking face to face.
They had a very intimate moment.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
We're not social distancing.
Yeah, not at all. Alright, so that's World 1. That is Sky Castle, and this is what I mean. You get to see some levels that we never showed off because either they were too long, they had too many loading screens, or they just weren't fast enough to 100% in any percent. This time you get to see every single level.
Now, coming up is my favorite of the kitty litter, so much so that my splits for this game, when I fight her, her split is my girl.
This is Steve's girl, not yours.
Yeah, it's only my girl. Tess is the greatest member of the kitty litter.
I will definitely agree to that, but I'm not so fast to say that she's my girl or anything. So this level coming up here, this level and the other 2D level, Ripe Rollers, are known for killing a bunch of runs in any percent, and all main levels. The 2D levels here are probably the hardest of all of them.
And right here, he's going to be doing the hidden page as well as getting 300 coins in this one. This is one of the ones where we start to get, in Veggie Village is when we start to get a little bit more picky when it comes to what ones that we're going to be picking up, because it allows for us to get out of the levels faster instead of having to do all of them.
Yeah, and the reason why we don't do... You may be asking, why don't you just 100% the 2D levels then, if it's that big of a deal. The reason why is because the letters are very scattered out, and not only that, it slows down your gameplay every time you hit a letter, so it ends up not being faster than some other pages that we can grab later on.
Yeah, so right there, he grabbed the hidden page. That's a very fast page to grab, so that's why we grabbed that. And then King is doing this area right here in a specific way. His routing is to where he goes and grabs this gem, this 50 coin gem at the very end here. It looks like he got up the cycle.
Yeah, so I messed up because my brain was like, yeah, I gotta go get the C now, but I didn't.
Right.
So I stopped for a second, but there we go. That was Piggy Peril. So yeah, coming up is a level you kind of saw in the 80% race. I think one person did it.
No, I don't think they did egg roll at all.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay.
No.
This used to be in the 80% route. We used to route out the ball levels because they were annoying, and I still don't do them at 80% because they're very annoying. But it's found out to be, I think, 3 seconds faster to do them.
But egg roll is, this might be one of the more broken levels as well in the game.
This is pretty cool. So,
and this one is one of my favorite levels as well.
Yeah, this level has a lot of invisible walls that we just bonk hop around. So you're supposed to hit switches to shrink down these giant piles of eggs, but we end up only having to shrink down one to get the page. So we just do the bare minimum.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how they patched out a couple of things. This was not patched out, but like I said, they really are really supportive of the speedrunning community. So if they fixed a couple of things, they still didn't patch out like some of these hidden walls here that they have in the levels.
And as I was saying before, I want to give a huge shout out to the devs on that note because they were so nice to the speedrunning community that they even gave a bunch, like, I think 5 of us, like, a bunch of review copies before the new versions came out so we could play them early and see what was changed. So they are very supportive.
So much so that in the original, they got rid of a certain level in the game that in the original game, one of the devs, director, creator, managed to tell us how to do a certain trick in the level, thus us naming the trick after him.
Yeah. Wasn't that in GoFetch? I think it was.
No,
right?
it was no, in the original game. The original.
Oh, the original, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so there we go. We just skipped the entirety of the level. And there we go. That's one of the fastest levels, and it used to be one of the slowest if you don't do any bonk hops.
Alright. Is everybody ready to boogie?
So this level is the longest in the run, and not only that, it is the fan favorite. This is Harvest Festival.
Not just the fan favorite, but
the favorite.
the favorite, including the voice actress who does Lucky, was streaming this game the other day, and she said that her reaction, like some of the laughs that she did from hearing the song at the end of this level, were legit laughs from her because she enjoyed it so much. It's probably the dev's favorite level. It's everybody's favorite level.
And as Steve was alluding to before, this is the most broken level you will see.
This is the first level we actually broke in the entire game. When it first came out in November of 2019, once we found bonk hopping, we decided to break this level first because of how long it is. So what you normally have to do is, oh look, in Harvest Festival there's a concert, but the band members are gone. What are we gonna do? Well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go and talk to the sheriff. You saw the exclamation point above his head there, and you're supposed to normally go and talk to the sheriff, and he's going to tell you and open up doors for you to get to where you need to go. However, with bonk hopping, we can completely skip having to talk to the sheriff at all, and going and doing all of the worms, finding all the worms out of order. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, we're going 3, 2, 1.
I just saw someone, by the way, ask if this is the same category as the race. No, this is completely different. The race was any percent. This is all main levels, where we're going to be doing every level instead of just the bare minimum.
So right here is the first, third worm.
This is going to get confusing really quick.
And what you have to do is you have to bring the key up to the top to open up the door. There's a worm waiting up at the top, and he will talk to you, and normally what he would do is he would go and he would play some music, but we're actually breaking it by doing 3 first. And he will talk to us, do a cutscene, and then we can just continue on. And yes, you're saying, well, couldn't you walk up to the top and just talk to him that way? You can, but in order to activate the dialogue, you actually have to do this whole sequence with the key.
Yeah, so this is like one of the most boring of the 3 that we have to do. The others have some skips that we can implement, but for now... Oh, I got the unlock glitch! Nice.
For some reason on the PC, the key will not go into the hole for some reason.
Yeah, so you can jump before the key actually goes into the lock, so you can get stuck in the air like that. It's kind of funny. I was actually the one to find that, and it's completely useless, but it's funny.
So right here, we're going on to worm number 2, and this is the only worm that's actually in the right order. The reason we are going in this order, you will find out in just a second after we get to worm 2. But worm 2 here, Mr. Burt, is like these are my buddies. I need them. I can't play music without having my little buddies, these fireflies. So we have to find 7 fireflies throughout this level, and this route that King is doing, I believe, is the same route that I originally showed off to. I was getting confused as to where all the fireflies were, so I decided to make a route for this, and most people do this route when they're doing the fireflies.
And this is even the route we use in stuff like all pages. It just works out really well, so shout out to Steve for actually making this. This right here, we're going to be doing a death warp here. As long as we don't go over top of the bottom boards, we'll death warp on the top side, and that's what we want.
And this was found by accident by me as well. Doing that specifically, not jumping over those boards down below. If you were to jump on the boards down below, you would have spawned down below on the docks. But if you don't, you just spawned up right next to that area where he was just there, and it allows for you to continue and get over there a lot faster.
That was weird. That was really dumb. My bonk hop wouldn't work there.
So there's a really weird thing here. King didn't get it, but if you pick up that last firefly and not land on the ground, it will skip Lucky Dancing there, and you can get over to the docks over here with worm number 2 and talk to him before it shows you where you're supposed to be going.
Oh, I didn't know it would skip that.
Yeah, it saves maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, if you go back on like solid ground again, it will show that. So.
All right, here's just a hint on what's to come.
Banjo Man is the best man. Alright, so coming up here, this is the last one here, or technically the first one. So you're supposed to do this whole stealth section, but because we did this out of order, the hidden secret up to the top is just there, so we can just appear inside the barrel and skip the entire thing. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so coming up, if you are not a country fan, I strongly suggest listening to this because I bet you that this will break you, this will make you love country. And if we can get some sour pleases in the chat for this next section, please do so.
Also, I just want to shout out that if you look when it turns to night, there's actually 2 sheriffs. Because we didn't talk to him anytime. There's 2 sheriffs with 2 exclamation marks.
Alright, we're going to be quiet so you can listen to this.
Enjoy, the best part of the game. The Soggy Party Boys. Good. So good. Brings a tear to my eye. So beautiful. All right, we're done. And this is why this isn't an any percent. It's so long.
It's so long, but which is unfortunate because it's such a great level.
It's so long, but so good. I cry every time when they say "banam bing bada ba."
All right, so this next level is Ripe Rollers, and this is the level that King was talking about. That it used to be called Rip Rollers or Rip Run in the old one because it hasn't changed that much, and it can be, if you don't get the right cycles, a very difficult level to do.
Thankfully, there's some ways that we can cheese it with damage boosting, but for the most part, a lot of people will lose their runs here, especially at any percent. I have a clip of Steve throwing his controller at the wall from this level. Yeah, a lot of people hate this level. I think everybody's failed this level at least once in a run, so.
At least once.
Yeah, just at least. Alright, so... And I'm going to be doing, just like the other 2D level, I will be getting the hidden page and the 300 coins.
Which is a little bit different routing from what I do, once again. He updated a little bit since I ran all main levels, which I ran the last all main levels on the Switch version of the game. So I haven't seen the new routing for this.
Yeah, so what I actually updated was the fact that we would only get the 300 coins. We wouldn't actually get the hidden page, but I found out that this hidden page is way faster than the egg roll hidden page because there's no loading screen. So I ended up changing this recently, and it saves upwards of like 30 to 40 seconds. So it's a big time save.
And there you go. He's going to. I'm not sure if he does the. Yeah, he does do the death warp.
Yeah.
All right. So getting the death warp there, and he's just going to now get to the end and just collect coins. It's a lot easier than having to do it in the any percent run.
Yeah, and usually you're looking for 200 coins after grabbing these 3 right here, which I will get, so I'll be completely fine, and that's good to see. Alright, so right here I'm diving through. For some reason, Lucky has some weird mechanics where if you dive into taking damage, you won't get like the stun animation of getting hit, so I can just walk through those balls after damage boosting, and that saves a cycle.
And when I'm playing on the PC, for some reason, it lags really terribly there when I try and do that, so I can't do that on the PC.
So there we go, that's like one of the hardest levels, done pretty quick.
Yeah.
This level, I say, is, like, everybody at least fails on it once, but since I run, like, every category, it's gotten pretty easy for me.
Alright. This next level is another one of my favorites. This level is called Pungent Paths. And in this level, I'm going to start explaining it as he gets over to it.
First, before you do that,
yeah,
I'm going to quickly say that there's a shopkeeper here. I have to do, like, a really weird line to avoid the text box, so if you see me going in a really weird, awkward path, that's why.
Alright, so in this level, normally what you have to do is you have to get, you have to save, is it 5 bunnies?
Yeah, it's 5.
5 bunnies, because they're lost and the Onion King has stolen them. But if you listen to the dialogue, if you read the dialogue from all of the bunnies, they call you peasant. And we don't know why until we run into Barry the Bunny.
Oh no.
Barry the Bunny has decided to... He's the one that started calling us peasant and just spread it on to everybody. So when we get to Barry, I need everybody in chat to please say "screw you, Barry," which is the second bunny. So he'll be coming up like right away.
This level is also completely broken because this level has no ceilings because we can just jump over the entire thing.
And I did this a little bit differently. I take a risky path by bouncing over the top of the spiked walls there and getting into them a lot faster.
Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody get it in chat.
Ready?
Screw you, Barry.
Screw you, Barry.
It's all your fault. Every time that I have something go wrong in a run, we always blame it on Barry. It's all Barry's fault. No one likes Barry. Alright, so now we're gonna be doing the rest.
we have a little bit stronger words for him when we're playing.
Yeah, we won't mention that. I hit the switch. My bad. Didn't mean to do that.
And then next we have the longest dialogue box. I'm not kidding, the longest dialogue box in the entire game. This is called Existential Crisis, or EC for short. And if you read his text normally, he's complaining about his life, his wife, his kids, his job, everything. So we just decided to name it Existential Crisis. So we need everybody to say, "Shut up, EC."
EC, shut up. my thumb hurts after that dialogue box. That's like literally 20 seconds of straight mashing. Alright, so the last two are pretty easy. There is a little optimization here at the end to get to the King Garlic that I actually found. You can actually go over top and damage boost on the railings, and you can go out of bounds into where this page will spawn, and then hit the trigger from outside the door, and it saves like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and what he's gonna do is well, this is a little bit different than the way I do it, but I go to the very edge here, and then I jump over, and that's what I do throughout the entire level.
Yeah, so there, yeah, that was Punch Pass, another, like, pretty long level, and that we would never do in any percent, and there we go.
And then we go on to my girl.
Oh, no. This is where Steve will be freaking out about his girl.
She's so awesome.
She's. I think the thing I like about Tess so much, we will actually see Tess later when we finish levels. She'll appear outside of them. She's one of those bosses that returns later. I think why everybody loves Tess is because she's so klutzy, but also like one of those stereotypical nerdy girls. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I like the fact that each character, even though they're cats, have pretty good characteristics.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Tess. It always will.
So, though, you may have heard specifically in those last two levels where we were like, oh, this person found this thing and this person found that thing. The wonderful thing about this community is that we've all found something, whether it's big or small. Everybody in the community has contributed. So that's why I love going through each level and being like, oh, there's so many small pieces of movements you can pick out. Be like, this person started implementing this person said that. It's really awesome.
Starting into the next level, Wrestle Retreat, or next world, Wrestle Retreat, we're going to be saying a lot, oh, well, this person found this, and this person found this. It's probably the most, well, besides Gilly Island, you're going to, starting with Wrestle Retreat, you're going to start hearing me say a lot more of, oh, this person found this, and this person found this.
Also, huge shout out to Solocky's voice actor again with that line at the beginning. It's my favorite line in the game. Hey, Tess! So good. Alright, so do you want to talk about this boss? Because it actually strings back to the original.
Yep, so you might have saw it on the in the any percent race, but you cannot get hit by the claw of the giant robot there if you stand on the wooden area on the outside. It originally came over from the original game, and it just never changed. It's impossible for you to get hit as long as you're on the outside edge. And these patterns of the switches that come up will never change, so as long as you're standing in the right spot and you tail swipe at the right time, you will not fail this. It's very hard to once you get used to it.
And then just like Mittens, there's actually a pretty cool fast strat at the end of the boss fights. It ends up starting the cutscene faster, just like Mittens, but this one saves a little bit more. This one saves about like 3 to 4 seconds. Basically, I'm gonna be mashing swipe and jump and slide. And hopefully there's a small chance that it won't work, but it'll make the cannons lower. Oops, that sucks. It'll make the cannons lower faster and start the cutscene quicker at the end.
Yeah, it was found by both King and I in a very strange way. He got it one time, didn't know how it worked, and then I kind of
optimized. I didn't get it.
Okay, and messed with it a little bit. I end up in a different area, and it works almost every time for me.
Yeah, I usually start in the bottom right corner there, and it sometimes works.
I end in the top left, and if I just roll to the center, what you do is you just roll, and then you jump into the water, and that cutscene of Tess getting ejected from the robot is just not there.
Yeah, very small optimizations, but really cool. There are, for the most part, there's like an optimization and fast strat for each boss fight, except for the World 4 one, which is the longest one. So, all right. So do you wanna talk about B skip and how stupid it is?
Yes. So B skip is in this first level here, Eightfold Path. And this trick was found by someone I don't even think runs the game anymore, Adventurous VV. And you've seen some of those bee enemies throughout the game, and they shoot stingers out, and you can get hit by them. But the other attribute of it is you can actually jump on top of those stingers. And the stingers, if you get enough distance onto them, you can use them to your advantage, and that's what we're going to be doing in this level. We are going to make the bee shoot a stinger at us in a specific place to shoot out above a gap. Then we dive off of that stinger, and if we jump correctly, it will skip us having to kill off. It will be able to skip killing 3 different fire beetles, as well as raising a platform and watching some dialogue.
This saves about 20 seconds.
Which is actually pretty decent. And even if you fail it once, it's still worth it to try it a second time.
I will always stand by saying that this is the hardest skip in the game. It is so... Including Hauntingham skip. That's easy now. After you do it once or twice, not hard. This, they even changed it in this in the new releases.
Yeah, in the PC launches and other console launches, they made this trick even harder because they added a lower hitbox for the top.
Easy every time though. That was perfect. I didn't even have to bonk hop there.
That was a really good B skip. He can even get that a little bit faster to just where the bee wanted to shoot the stinger. You can run up to the bee and he will just shoot his stinger right away without you having to wait for him to shoot a second one.
It's kind of RNG where it will shoot though is the main thing, so it's kind of random. But yeah, that's a perfect level. I didn't mess up at all. That was really good. That's by far one of the hardest skips. That one, if you're trying to learn this category or anything other than any percent, that will be the one you have the most difficulty on.
To get it the first time ever on the Switch, it took me almost 2 hours to learn that trick alone.
Yeah, and like we were mentioning, these new versions that came out recently, they actually changed the hitbox a little bit, so it was harder to hit.
Yeah, you can normally double jump off of the stinger after you do a tail or the dive onto the stinger, but since they lowered it, you can only have enough time to do a jump and then a tail swipe like King did.
Yeah, so now we're going to be doing ladder, Climb of the Mines. You saw this in Any Percent, which was recently routed in instead of Melon Madness, which is a different 2D level. I'm not going to be 100%ing this one. I'm only going to be getting the hidden page, so I get to do a little bit of faster cycles.
Which is nice, because this still isn't that fun of a level.
I say this is one of the worst levels in the game. This is definitely the worst 2D level in the game.
Next to Ripe Rollers is, well, for you...
Yeah, I'd say Ripe Rollers is a little bit more deadly. If you mess up on this one, you won't die, per se. You'll just fall down. Yeah. Fall very far down. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for that cycle. You can bonk hop up to it, but I was dumb.
Yeah, sometimes Lucky just doesn't want to bonk hop for some strange reason.
Alright. I messed up the cycle, so I'm gonna have some really weird cycles that I'm not used to, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about in this level. It's just, like, very...
There is one thing at the end that I only specifically do.
Oh, really?
A damage boost.
Oh, there is one trick. I'm not sure that in the Any Percent, I wasn't sure if they talked about it, but there's a little tiny bounce that you do. I'm not sure if King does it or not now.
I don't know. The one that you do, you mean?
Yeah, with underneath the...
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay. Later up in the level, you can actually bounce underneath a certain bounce pad, which will allow for you to get a much higher bounce and get up to the top just a tad bit faster.
Yeah, it's like you can... When you home into these little starfish things, there is a chance that you can hit it if you home into it from underneath, and that's what he's talking about, basically.
I guess one thing that I can talk about this level is this one was in the original game, and it was harder because of the bouncing physics that you get from this level. On the original game, it doesn't lock on, so you have to bounce on the platforms like a lot straighter.
Alright, so this is the strat I was talking about here. I take a little bit of a damage boost, and then ride it on up.
They did change it up to make it a little bit easier, but it's still a difficult level.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the roadblocks for a lot of people learning either New Game Plus or all main levels, for sure. But that was pretty good, honestly. Not the worst I've ever done on that level. I definitely messed up on the cycles, though.
Do you want to... This is... Oh, wait, no. Melon Madness. This level... there's a trick that I started by accident and King perfected in this level.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yep. And this is King's favorite level name in the entire game.
Sounds so good. Melon Madness! Alright, so this is Melon Madness. Almost everyone's favorite 2D level just because of the aesthetic. If you're hungry, don't watch this level. Just because it's full of food, and we're going to be riding on watermelons. It has some really cool strats in it, though. Specifically in the hidden page, which we're going to be grabbing. This one has some really cool strats where it shows really well how big your hitbox is when you're swiping. So yeah.
We're going to be grabbing the hidden page out of this one, because it's a very quick... That's what he was talking about with the hitbox.
Yeah. So this level is pretty simple for the most part. There is a few cool tricks we get to do. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. This part coming up right here, we have to get all the coins to get the hidden page. And you'll see what I mean with how big the hitbox is for when you swipe your tail. Normally you have to go down these holes to and touch all these coins to grab them, but when you swipe your tail, you have like this giant hitbox. I can just swipe the ones when I'm over top of them for some reason, and it works.
Yeah, we'll use that to our advantage. If you saw the 90%, you saw what they used it for in the later level, but we use that for a couple of things throughout the run. And this level actually used to be in the any percent category, but we decided on going with Latter State of the Mind.
Yeah, it ended up being like, what, 15 seconds faster?
I don't know the difference.
So yeah, this is the strat that Steve was talking about. He actually started using that where you he used to bonk hop on top of that melon before it's supposed to cut open, and then you go down through the inside of it, but Steve bonk hopped over it, and then I realized if you do 2 perfectly high double jumps and then just hold the jump button, it just up warps you. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I accidentally found it because I kept on dying in that part over and over again, and I got mad and just decided to try and bonk hop over it, and it just worked.
And then you saw melon skip in any percent. We don't need that.
They did not, because they don't do it in 90%.
Oh wait, what am I thinking? I'm thinking bold any percent. Never mind. There's a thing called melon skip where if you're getting the letters, there's a Y on the bottom of that last melon, and you can bonk hop after jumping down to grab it early. But we don't get the letters anymore. I'm thinking of old any percent.
Yeah, we've
the OG one.
We've changed it up quite a bit.
I've only done one run with ladder for any percent, so it's still not set in my mind. Yeah, we don't do this.
Alright, so you want to explain this next level, correct?
Alright, yeah, I'll just say I'm only going to explain my history with this level. So I learned this game for the 12-hour challenge, and this is the category I learned because no one ran it. Well, this is camera.
Oh, wow.
No one ran it. I wanted to start up a new category, and I hate this level. This is one of the levels I was thinking about quitting running the game because I didn't want to learn how to do this. If you don't know how to bonk hop, this is the worst level. This is called Peaceful Place. And it has probably the worst bonk hop. I call it Skull Bonk Hop. And Steve will explain when we get closer to it, but it's also my favorite level because I found something by accident funnily enough, on SGDQ submission video, I found a glitch by accident, and I'll explain that when we get to the elevator part. So
You found
can go
it
ahead and
during a
explain this.
submission video?
Yeah, I found it by accident.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that when we get to it.
yeah. But this level was in the original one. It was actually called Operation Pointy Thing in the original game. And the skull skip, skull bonking that you're going to see was actually in the original game, but we do it a little bit differently than we do it in the original game. In the original one, you go over to the right-hand side and you jump onto a torch and then over the skull. But in this one, you do a little bit of a bonk hop. You're going to bonk hop up this torch, and once you get high enough, you're going to see camera angle or camera change a little bit, then you're going to take a turn over to the right and just jump right over the skull.
That was the hardest thing for me to learn.
That saves you having to go from right to left and opening up the cages by hitting different switches.
So now let me take you back to early 2019 when I was recording my AGDQ submission video. I found this. If you throw your camera into the wall, you don't have to kill these guys. They just die immediately. That was found completely by accident by me in a submission video. I didn't know how it worked, and then we found out that it happens every time. If you just turn your camera into the wall, it will completely skip that fight at the end.
We have no idea how it works, and he found it in the submission video. And I went back and I was like, King, do you know how you did this? He says, no, not really. So I went back and I tried it, and I copied exactly what he did, and it just worked that way. I said, well, if you know what you did in the submission video, just do it that way, and it works every time.
It's one of those things that shouldn't work, but it does, and it's the funniest thing, because if I have that old submission video, I don't use it anymore because it's not as good of a time anymore, considering that these versions are way faster. But it's just funny to look back at it. I was like, wait, what just happened? What did I do? Alright. So now we're going to go do this auto-scroller. We need 4 more pages. We'll get all of them in here, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, I guess this is a good time to explain. These auto-scrollers that you see in here, in the original game, they were called clovers that you had to collect, and these auto-scrollers had nothing to do with collecting clovers. So we just don't do them at all in the original game. But in these, since they get us pages, it's a lot easier to get the pages in these because they're somewhat short and they're really fast to grab up. And another thing about the old game is you've been seeing that each door there's a number on it for the amount of pages you have to collect. In the original game, you don't actually have to collect a certain amount in each world. You can just gather up as many as you can in a certain level, and then you will unlock the other door, the end door. So the original game has a lot of different strats, as in there's no bonk hopping in the original game. There is a lot of out-of-bounds tricks that we found, and better mechanics. The camera can actually turn all the way around. In the original game, it could not. And better graphics, and there's just a lot of optimizations compared to the original with this game.
Yeah, and something you saw in this auto runner, there is actually fun ways that we can speed up these auto runners by homing into things and using the conveyor belts. We slide down the ones going downwards, and we walk up the ones going upwards, and small things like that, really small optimizations. So this World 3 boss, you saw it in the 90% race. It's so funny how many new runners came in once these new versions, especially PC, came out. So many people, specifically Metaxi, came in and showed us things we never knew existed. This boss fight, Buttons and Fluff and Stuff, went from the most boring 5-minute boss fight to the most optimized and broken boss fight in the game. It was
originally found by I always say his name wrong. M3. I'll just say that M3.
I had to say Metaxi.
Yeah.
Metaxi.
Yeah. He came in and was just like, hey, you can jump onto this and you can get an early cycle. Then Chris came in and optimized it a little bit more to make it even less of a cycle, but he couldn't get consistent to the 1.5 phases. Then we had a new person come run in named Maui. Maui the Maui Man. The Maui Man. And he told us exactly how to get the trick to become a consistent 1.5 phase fight, which is to climb a bunk up the pole, and even if you miss the second bomb, it will still work as long as you do specific things.
Yeah, so in my current world record, fun fact, I actually didn't get this skip all the way through. This saves upwards of 40 seconds to around a minute, and I only saved 10 seconds. So recently I just learned this strat. I hadn't done it leading up to practicing for this event, and so now it's like, it's really mind-boggling how much the community has changed this game, and what just a little bit of glitch hunting can get you. So I'm going to start by bonk hopping up this pole, as we saw in the 90% race. You don't need to do this, it just makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more consistent doing it this way.
So I just get up here. There's, again, the fact that, oh, whoops.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. It'll work now, I think. I hope.
Yeah, it will.
Now I just go ahead and spam swipe, and I should be good.
Now, one thing that's unfortunate about these early cycles is if he gets this, we will be skipping a phase on the fireballs that says Lucky Smells. And the reason that it's upsetting is because in the original game, one of the level creators wanted to have the phrase Lucky Smells in this fight. Okay, you got it. This should work.
Yeah, there we go. So that skips a really long cycle. That skips one of the fire cycles, and it's really cool how that works. So basically, two things were going on at once there. Fluff and Stuff was jumping around, and these enemies are spawning. And now that they spawned the second row, it skips the entirety of the last or the second cycle. So we don't have to.
Yeah, which is the Lucky Smells phase. But yeah. he wanted Lucky Smells in the original game, but it was like a very, very small percentage of it actually showing up. The fireball phases were actually random in the original game. And so now we actually skip it completely because Lucky Smells is no longer in our route if we do everything correctly.
It's just so ironic that he wanted it so badly to be in the new version. Now we skip it all together. I feel so bad. But this is the last hit now. We skip an entire cycle just like that.
There was a moment there where the large cat was on screen twice because he reappeared on the boat before he was done jumping around.
Yep,
that's how you know you get the skip, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know that it's done correctly. And I'm not sure if they explained it in the any percent, but the reason that works is because you have to hit one bomb, then hit the second bomb to get the second phase started, and then you have to hit the third bomb on the first phase of the bomb cats that come up, and make sure you kill him with his own bomb. If you don't do that specific order before Fluff and Stuff jumps back to the boat, then the trick will not work.
And I don't want to alarm anyone, but because of that, I am on world record pace. Because I got that perfectly this time. Yeah, I didn't know how to do it consistently every time. I didn't know about bonk hopping up the mast. So thanks to Maui Man, we actually, like, that's super consistent now. We used to reset on that now at any percent a lot, but now, I said now a lot. It's super consistent, and we never miss it.
So right here, within the past 2 days, 3 days,
I think so.
I managed to find in this next level, I like this level as well. Securing the Talent is a really fun level just to do. This was originally part of the DLC for the original game, and now they just made it part of the main story. And they have in here. You have what I found was the wall extends out a little bit more than normal in a specific area, and we're trying to get it. We're trying to destroy certain. We're trying to destroy certain speakers in this level in a specific order for us to get them done a lot faster than normal. And as you see right there that you just saw was Octodad. I know you were watching a new Super Lucky's Tale speedrun, but we also include Octodad.
Secretly, this is just Adley's catch.
Yeah.
Alright, so this level is another one of those 3D exploration levels where we have to break open 6 sets of speakers. However, like Steve mentioned, he found this recently where we can just climb up this this wall, which I practiced literally 5 seconds before. I didn't know this was a thing. So, see if I can get this. Oh no.
Oh, you're fine. It still saves time going around.
Oh my god, go, please. I think I literally tied the split, or tied how much this saves. There we go.
Alright, so right there, I found that normally what we would do is we would go all the way over to the left, then go across the bridge, and then get over to here up to this. But with doing that, it just allowed for us to get up here a little bit faster to get to these speakers. And with bonk hopping, normally in order to get up here, you would destroy all those enemies, and Meowmalade would jump, or she would spawn the bouncy pads for you to get up to the top, but we just bonk hop over to it. Then we're gonna go over to this over here. And as long as it doesn't lag and make him fall to the bottom, he's going to destroy the speaker, and then he's gonna run off of it into the water. Doing so will allow for you to spawn right back up where you came from, and you can just run over to the next set of speakers. This death abuse was found by accident, once again by me.
It's funny that Steve finds all these things by accident. He doesn't even try to find them, he just happens to come across them.
I'm the worst at finding glitches and tricks, and most of mine are just found by accident.
Alright, so yeah, this is also by far one of the most broken 3D levels in this run. This really does show, especially later at the very end, you'll see a very big broken part of it. Alright, so now I'm going to get this hidden page here. This one was debated whether or not it's faster to get this or just 100% the 2D level later, but nah, it's definitely faster than getting the letters.
I'm the worst, unless you're bad at it like I am. I'm not the greatest at this. I have failed this multiple times in runs.
Failed this too. This is another one of the ones where it's like everyone's had their fair share of messing this up. I also saw Moosh, who has world record on PC, saying, "Oh no, he's gonna beat my PC record." It's like, no, I'm running console, dude. Don't worry. I don't run PC because I'm not able to stream it. That's why I wasn't in the any percent race, or even part of it at all. It was because my PC is not the best. I'm getting a new one soon, but I stream on a laptop, so hopefully soon when I get my PC in, I'll be able to compete for the PC world records again.
Alright, so he has 2 more sets of speakers coming up right here. And the first set is just the average way that you would grab it. But then after that, we'll have 1 more speaker that we have to hit in order to save our worm, or our people from dancing. Meowmalade has hypnotized them into dancing constantly. And King always likes to point out the flossing fish.
The old man looks like he's flossing. I'm sorry, I just have to.
But then after this, we are going into a trick found by none other than Edgy the Hedgy. This trick completely skips having to do an Octodad. Octodad is a really bad dad, and he has lost his children, and you have to find all 3 of them. But if this is done correctly, he's going to be jumping around the hitbox of Octodad, so you don't have to do the dialogue. And then he's going to be doing a slide, jump, twirl to get over to the water here, and he's going to then destroy the last one. In order to normally get over there, you would have to destroy or find the 3 children, and then Octodad brings up floaties to get you across to the other side. The funny thing about that trick is Edgy the Hedgy didn't know where all 3 of the children, octopus children, were, and he did that casually every time.
Yeah, so that is, I'm very surprised that went as well as it did. That was a really good run of that level.
Yep, just a little bit more practice with that new strat, and then you're...
I mean, yeah, that was the first time I ever did that in a run, so I think that's pretty good. It saved like 5 seconds still.
Yeah.
Alright, so coming up is another 3D level. There's only 3 levels, 3 main levels in this world. It's a very small world. You only need 6 pages to move on. So it's one of the fastest ones. And this one's called Trapped in Paradise, and it's another one where we have to get multiple things, multiple objectives done. This one we have to open up a bunch of umbrellas, and has some really cool routing because pawn copping is fantastic.
And this, if you play this game and go for the achievements, this actually has one of the few achievements that basically sounds like a speedrun strat waiting to happen. The achievement is to go through the entire level without hitting a switch.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna try that. I've never done it before. I'm gonna go for it.
And I'm not sure if he's going to be doing my routing or not for this, but I had a pretty fast route that he said he was going to try and do.
I think I'm doing my OG route. I don't think I do yours. Yeah, Steve does a little bit of a different route here. I like the route that I always do though. It always feels like it's faster. And do you want to explain the origins of that route that you found?
Yeah, on the original game, you're able to bounce onto the edges of the walls there, but with pawn copping, we really don't have to do it. You can still bounce on them, but they're a lot harder to control. But the routing that I did, I always used to go into there and then go all the way around, but then I found that you can just dive underneath that King just went to, and it made it a lot easier, and I'm like, well, that was...
Oh, that's the route. Oh, I've always done that.
Well, no, my routing is I jump onto the table that's there at the very beginning, and I swipe everything off, so I destroy that picnic that people were having. Then I go and I grab what was King's second umbrella. I grab that one second. Then I go and grab the other one that's out of the way. Then I come back to the middle, but that can be a little bit risky because you can actually soft lock this level. If you hit the umbrella at the same time as you're supposed to talk to the sheriff there, the game won't continue on the level and you have to restart it. So the route that King took is actually a little bit safer.
Yeah. So, yeah, he does just a little bit of a different route on which ones he opens. At which time. So, yeah, that one level is pretty cool because, as you saw there, if you just match jump while you're on top of the fence, you'll never get pushed off. So, yeah. Alright, so coming up here is this is a pretty memorable level for me. Back, I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? Me and Steve were in Yes Glitches a Lot, which is a marathon. And this was the first time ever this glitch was found. I'm pretty sure Chris got it in the race. It's called camera lock. And there's a small chance that when you leave the hidden page area, you will lock your camera to the background. But thankfully, we found out there's actually a really easy way to make sure it doesn't glitch you around.
Oh, is there an easy way to avoid it? Because didn't this happen to Chris?
Yeah, you go back in the burrow hole. Also,
okay. I think to avoid it happening to start with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you were gonna say shout out to Double Double, who found that with Lucky's massive hitbox, you can just tail swipe the diamond that's sitting there, and you're able to collect it through the fence instead of having to wait for Fluff and Stuff to shoot the bombs and destroy the wall.
Yeah, so right here I'm actually doing a different strat than most people will do. It's called Cabana Skip. I went over top of that house. You have to do an off-screen bong cop, which some people aren't used to. And some people don't do it and choose to just bypass it and lose like 2 seconds. But for me, I find it easier to go for it. But yeah, so this area right here, the first time I ever found this glitch was in a marathon. But yeah, it happened to Chris. And the way you fix it is by going back in the burrow hole, and apparently it just fixes it normally, which I didn't know. So we'll see if I get it. Okay, I didn't. So yeah, there's a small chance that, depending on...
I've never got it, so I don't know what causes it.
I think I know what causes it. It's like a maybe whether or not it's for sure. It's not... It's still, like, kind of random. But what happens is, while your page is going up to the top corner to show that you collected it, if you enter the burrow hole and you're in it at any time that it's, I'm pretty sure it's any time that it's, like, you know, making the top part golds. I'm pretty sure that is what causes it. I could be wrong, but that's what I think, at least.
That was a good quote sequence at the very end.
I tried to do something called early hit, where if I double jump as soon as I get out of the burrow hole there is a chance I'll hit the first one right away. It's a very small chance, though. Yeah, that's really good for cannons.
And then coming up is Lady Meowmalade. There's a couple things that I want to point out. The first one is King has died on this in a race.
Okay, you don't have to go that far into it, but I thought you were gonna wait for a second. You brought out the hammer swinging.
In one of the races, he ended up. But the funny thing is he ended up coming back and winning that race anyway, I believe.
Yeah, we each have like a level that we can be like, haha, you died on this level. This is that level for me. There's one in Hauntingham for Steve.
But another one about this is one of our runners, Mushba. He has the worst luck in all of Gilly Island, but Meowmalade specifically, because he's one of the only people I have seen or heard of to actually soft lock this fight. He entered into the fight, and you saw it in the any percent. The music is going, and the tiles will not start. It did not start up and change, so he just couldn't continue on.
So there's actually, along with that, there's also something really funny with this fight. I'm gonna see if we can maybe show it off after this run if we have some time. But there is during the laser phase of this boss fight, there's an instant death zone above her. If you bonk hop too high, even if you have full health, you'll instantly die there. It's so weird.
And this is this is the only boss that basically you can't speed up. There's no way of speeding it up, but luckily it has probably the best music for a boss.
This used to be the second worst boss fight, but then Fluff and Stuff and Buttons got their big upgrade. We're hoping to maybe find something with this boss fight, but for the most part, this is the only boss fight that has no optimization.
And then another thing coming up right here with the enemies that she's gonna spawn in. If you watch them, if you give them just a second, King, the bees are dancing to the music.
There, I let one live.
Yay!
Yay, he got to boogie for a little bit.
That will also happen in the second wave of enemies that he brings out, where the bees will be dancing as well as the golems are all dancing to the music. And it's one of my favorite little tiny things that they added into this boss fight.
Also, can I just say that this music's a banger?
Yeah, it's amazing. That's why I can handle it being one of the longer fights.
Yeah, usually because I do offline runs, like I said, I can't stream the PC version, and when I'm doing offline runs of the PC version, I literally just bang my head with this music. But yeah, so this is the last part. I have a pretty optimized, so enemies will spawn out here, and there's gonna be more enemies this time. I have a pretty specific way I fight these guys. So there's these two guys here. Oh, I almost got it. There's these head guys that will actually knock into the bees and other guys as well and defeat them for me. So I try to hit as many as I can in that one instance.
Yeah, I just love the little dances that they do. They make me laugh every time.
Also, if you're going for all achievements, keep in mind that there is an achievement to doing this boss fight. No damage.
Very, very hard achievement.
Not for us, because we played this boss like 2 billion times.
But yeah, it was also pretty funny. I managed to get the achievement by doing frame-perfect jumps off of the red somehow.
Yeah, fun fact, if you dive into the red swirling parts of the floor, it actually won't damage you at all. So yeah, that's Meowmalade. We're heading on to our final world. In any percent race, you saw that we skipped 2 of the levels because of something called Hauntingham skip, which used to be one of the harder skips, but now it's pretty easy and trivial. But we can't do that because we need to do all the levels. So The cool thing about that, though, is that because we only need 4 pages to get to unlock the final boss, we don't have to get any extra pages. I will be getting 1 extra to save a door unlocking cutscene, but other than that, it's completely optional.
Yeah, so this routing for Carnival Court is was found by me. Again, this is completely, you're going to be seeing this route here that I was like, well, I don't want to go into the chicken race. I was really bad at the Jinx fight that you saw them doing the any percent at the time. I was really bad at it. So I was like, we only need 3 tickets. What is the fastest 3 tickets to do? And this route that you're going to see is the fastest route that I was able to find.
Yeah, so we actually use this for all main levels and New Game Plus. It is the fastest route. The only reason the any percent route is faster is because we need 300 coins for that extra page. So we do that in that specific way.
And they didn't point this out in the any percent, but the name of the guy here is Clive the Barker. So if you know anything about pop culture, you will know the name Clive Barker.
Octodad and Clive Barker.
Yep. So we have Octodad and Clive Barker, and another reference that we skipped in Gilly Island is actually a mini game that's like the original Donkey Kong.
The most ambitious crossover you've ever seen. Alright, so something small you may have noticed is that you may be seeing me do this where I slide onto an edge and then like slide off of it. Like I dive into an edge so I gain the little bit of speed boost off of it. I don't know why that works, it just does. Oh nice, that was fun. Wow, that was great.
Oh wow.
It didn't let me bonk hop there. Cool. Again, this is the issue to the fact where Steve and I are used to the Switch bonk hops. So.
And sometimes our minds just shut off and go back to the old for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, the way I actually do bonk hops on the new versions is completely different than everybody else. I do neutral bonk hopping, where you hold the stick neutral after you bonk and do your jump and swipe, or your swipe and jump, my bad. Everybody else just holds towards the wall, but I don't.
Okay, so right here is the other one that you didn't get to see at any percent. So this gypsy right here has lost the crystal ball, and it's somewhere in these trash cans. Luckily for us, it's always in the same trash can, which happens to be by the bumper cars, which is the 3rd ticket that we can get. So we'll hit the trash can to unlock it and open it up, and then we just go and we go and get this ticket. Then we take the gypsy ball back to the gypsy, and she gives us our 3rd ticket.
Yeah, so there's that. Now we gotta go take the crystal ball back. This is where the game gets a little bit laggy. Because these enemies we're not gonna defeat any of them. You're supposed to jump on them and try to defeat them, but I don't got time for that. I'm gonna take this ball back. So, yeah, now we get to just watch these guys chase after us. They're like those door-to-door salesmen. I don't want anything they're selling, but they just keep chasing me.
There's also an area where you can soft lock the game, but we found a way that you can just... Well, it's not really soft lock anymore if we know how to fix it, but it's a camera glitch that can happen. If you talk to the gypsy at the same time as the crystal ball is going in and the key is unlocking, it will change the camera to show just the side of a cliff. And if you know where you're standing, which will always be in the same spot, you just run back into the ticket and it will fix the camera for you.
Yeah, I actually found that in my, for me personally, I found that in my casual playthrough. I got very confused. And there we go, that's that level done. I've messed up a bit, but it's okay.
And then we're going on to, are you getting the small dialogue skip here?
No, I'm not gonna go for it.
Okay.
I don't know how to do this dialogue skip.
Okay. We're going on to Train, Terror Train, which is, I said a lot of levels are my favorite, but this is legitimately my favorite level in the entire thing, just because it's so fast to go through.
Yeah, and this is the one I'm actually going to grab an extra page in. Again, we don't need it to unlock the final boss, But the reason I'm grabbing this extra page is because these door cutscenes you see where it shows the page counter ticking down, that will always take the same amount of time each time. So if you can get a really quick page, it saves like 7-ish seconds, and it skips one of those cutscenes. So there's one hidden page in this that we get in the any percent route that's just right in our path, so we might as well just grab it.
Yeah, this is one of those levels that bonk hopping, it makes it so fun just because you're just soaring through the level.
Nice bonk on the apparently the fireballs have like
yeah, I've been getting that a lot recently. I've gotten off of coins recently a lot too.
yeah, fireballs and coins actually have physical traits. So if you're not careful, you will actually bonk on them sometimes, which is really weird.
So you're gonna see him just grab the really short page right here by bonking off of going off the B, and there's no physical attribute inside of there, so you can just bounce in and grab the page and continue on.
Yeah, I almost messed it up because you're supposed to dive into it to get enough speed. I almost didn't get enough speed, and now we just go to the end, which is super easy because it's right here. It's one of the shortest levels in the game. Even in 100%, it's really quick.
Yeah, and that's why it's so fun to me. It's just so quick, and
also these guys' shades.
It's not really technical either. It's just a lot of basic maneuvering throughout the level.
Yeah, and there we go. That's Terror Train. So now we get to 2 levels that we didn't see in any percent in Hauntingham. This level is probably the most. It's kind of like Securing the Talent and Harvest Festival, where we do everything reverse how we're supposed to, and it skips a cutscene, so it's really cool.
And the thing about this is done in all main levels, new game plus. I don't think, and those are the only 2 that it's done in this route that we're going to take, because all pages in 100%, if we do this routing, it actually locks out the U for you to not be able to collect.
Yeah, when I was routing out all pages in 100%, because no one ran those categories before me, that was something I found out, and I found that really weird that, like, you would still get to the U. Oh, sorry, no, you can still get, like, go to where the U is. It's just not there at all. Like, it doesn't spawn there because you did it out of order. But thankfully, we don't need the letters, so we're good.
So this routing, this very, like, going out of order like this, it was found by, once again, Adventurous Vivi. But we just optimized it just a tad bit more with this bonk hop right at the very beginning, which King was able to make it go a little bit faster for us.
Yeah, so they did like a really weird bonk hop earlier in this like game's development of the speedrun. I just found that you can just bonk up out the front like that, and it's 10 times easier. This little side edge here was found by, I'm pretty sure, Vivi, right?
Yeah, Adventurous Vivi.
Yeah. Shout outs to her. She's done a lot of things for this community. Doesn't run the game anymore, but had I think she was the first one who ran any percent, right? I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure, I may or may not be working on a world record progression, so I'm just saying that. But yeah, as you can see here, there's supposed to be boxes behind this cutscene right here that hide where the page is, and if we just don't go where the cutscene is, the boxes won't spawn until now, and that skips that cutscene of the boxes spawning. So it saves like a minute.
Yeah, and you would think, oh, well, if the page is down there, why don't you just go down there and grab it? It's not down there yet. It's not in until you get all 3 of these ghost friends or sisters, brothers, whatever they are, siblings. I don't know. They never pointed out.
So each of these, just like the bandmates and Harvest Festival, these ghosts each need something that we have to do to appease them. This one we need to turn on the lights for some reason, and right here I have this little damage boost I can do. Very nice.
I love that damage boost.
I had to double damage boost, so it's gonna be a little bit risky, but it's okay.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sliding animation that he did there, obviously you're supposed to get hurt from it, but if you go fast enough, you're able to slide on both of those platforms and just get off while only getting hit once. And it saves a little bit of time from, normally you have to dive into the ground and stay underneath while it's going on, but if you just go on top, you don't have to worry about running around in circles.
So this strat right here, I don't know, Steve, have you seen this? I don't know if you've seen my recent PB, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to spawn at the top. Okay, it didn't happen. If you jump high enough, the game will actually spawn you at the top, and I do this area backwards sometimes if I get it. It's very small optimization, saves like 2 seconds.
I think I've got it before. You have to go, I think, over to the left a little bit more than you did.
Yeah. It's a weird... I'm still not sure how that works. We're still working on it. Alright, so these red bees will actually shoot like multiple missiles, so we just have to home into them pretty easy.
And I'd like to do that one a little bit differently. I make it risky. I just stand in one spot, hit the pumpkin, and just start swiping like crazy, because you can hit the bees stingers back at them.
Yeah.
And it will kill them, so I can get lucky enough, and it just kills both of the bees, and then I just have to jump once to get onto the ghosts.
Also, these ghosts have like the best dialogue ever. They say spookaboo, and it's so funny.
Spookaboo, spookaboo, spookaboo ba, spookaboo pa.
Really good. I mean, like, top quality. Like, whoever came up with the dialogue needs a raise. So
and
good.
One thing about this this whole area, all 3 of these levels that you're seeing, except for Terror Train, like all these levels are completely different than the original release. In the original, for Carnival Court, you had to capture, or you had to free 3 or 4 ghost family members and reunite them with their mother and father. But then you saw that there you had to collect 3 tickets. And that's broken in the original game with out-of-bounds tricks and stuff like that to begin with. So breaking it even more in this just continues on.
Yeah, and so right here we have our last level, and for some reason the last level is an auto-scroller. So great.
And I'm just waiting for it.
Spookaboo.
Spookaboo. But should I mention? Should I say it? Steve is known for dying on this level. I don't know why he does. I don't know how he does.
I have died 2 or 3 times in this level.
In that YGA Yes Glitches Allowed race, Steve was in the lead for the entire race, and then died on this level. I don't know how he does it.
Is bringing that up some revenge for Steve mentioning you dying in Lady Marmalade?
Oh, yeah, that's why I say, like, we each... I think every runner has that one level where it's like, why do you die in this level? How do you do it? Me, it's Lady Marmalade.
Sorry, Marmalade.
And Steve is this level. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's at where the sea is. I still don't know how it happens. It's just he gets caught underneath the bees, I think. I don't know. Ow.
No, I bounced off of a coin, which then made me run into a spike, which made me lose speed, and I hit these 3 bees right here and died.
Yeah, so like we mentioned before, oh, nice bonk. The coins actually have like physical traits, so you can bonk on the coins, and that's what messed him up. I just bonked on a bee for some reason and killed him. I don't know how that worked, but
yeah, it's. Oh, go ahead.
How inconsistent is it to bonk on a coin? Is it just a random thing that can happen?
It's
sometimes?
random.
Yeah, it's completely random. We wish it would be awesome if we could learn how to do it.
If we could bonk on coins, there's a lot more of like bonk hops that could be found, and it'd be really cool.
Yeah, if you could do it consistently. I wonder if it's based on the rotation, like there's a specific frame with it rotating where you can bonk on it or something.
I'm not really sure.
It usually happens. You usually bonk off of it after you collect it.
Okay.
I found. So it would have to be. You would have to be a very fast bonk hop to do that.
So you'd have to know you're going to do it to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the current world record, heading into the final boss, in case people want to know, the world record for PC, since PC loads are so much faster, I only did 1 run. Mushpa currently has the world record of, I think it's 124 or something. And then console world record, I got it last night, was 133.44, but I mean, we're on a really good pace right now. So.
Wait, you got it last night?
Yeah, I got it last night in practice, and I didn't even get the button skip. So because I got button skip, I'm like 40 seconds ahead right now.
Because last week, the show that we had, Luigi's Mansion, all of the runners got world record while preparing for the show, and they were joking about the Railcoon luck, so...
Well, that it carries over, because this is world record pace. Oh yeah, I also have to do this. Foolish child.
Oh. Jinx!
I've been waiting for you, lucky Swifttail. I really must thank you. The bar is finally...
Yeah, so that's the tradition for both King and I. We like to, at the end of our runs, even if it's a bad run, we will still, if we get the Jinx, do that dialogue.
Voice acting percent?
Yep.
It's honestly, the voice acting in this game, I like to compare it to Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
So bad
it's like
it's good?
so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Especially there, because the voice, like the syncing is so off. Anyhow, so this is Jinx. I'll let Steve talk about Jinx because he actually found a few things. I do want to say I have a very stupid moment with Jinx where Jinx moved one of the platforms backwards, and I was so tired one night. I was like, oh my god, he moved two at once. What?
So in the original game, there's a little bit of history lesson here. The original game, the Jinx fight is completely different in that in order to hurt him, you have to shoot a orb at him to hit him. Yep, orb.
Orb.
And you have to shoot it back at him in order to hurt him, but now you can just bounce off of him like this, which was actually accidentally found by Edgy the Hedgy, not knowing about that trick there to hit him 3 times. Instead of every time you hit him, he moves back off of the stage, and then you're able to hit him when he comes back. But if you just do it like that, it gets it killed a lot faster. But,
and we can never have a marathon run without mentioning Double Double on his first 90% run of this game. Died 8 times on Jinx. This boss is definitely hard when you're first playing it. Don't take it lightly. So yeah.
But to continue on with the in the first game, the boss was so difficult that they actually had to make a patch for just this fight alone because a lot of people couldn't pass it to the point where when I was watching the stream, they were watching somebody stream while they were playing the game, and they just turned to the camera and say, "Playful Corporation, why?" So they said, this might be a little bit too hard for people, so they patched it to make it a little bit easier, and it was still a pretty difficult fight for the original one. So in this one, they just completely changed up the fight to make it a little bit easier. It's still not a super easy fight, but...
That was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, by the way. Like, he hit me, and then I still was able to get the straight dive strat. I don't know how that works.
I saw that. That was weird.
And I actually saw someone asking if there's a glitchless run. We mentioned this earlier. There is no bonk hopping categories, which is basically the no major glitches categories if you want to learn this game and don't want to learn the hard strats. Most of us, I don't think there's anyone who solely runs those, but some of us run them for the memes. If you want to try them, go for it. Specifically all pages. If you don't bonk hop, you have to actually do the puzzles, and you can't just bonk hop over the wall, which
and you thought in a bonk hopping category for Harvest Fest, Soggy Boggy Boys was long. You actually have to do the stealth section that's located in that level without bonk hopping.
I swear, Jinx, if you hit me one more time, I'm gonna be so mad, man. You are giving me a run for my money, dude. Alright, I almost died, but we're good.
That was close.
Alright, we're good.
So timing comes up the second that he loses control of Lucky.
Yep.
Yeah, so get ready on time here. And 3, 2, 1, time. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but that's a huge world record for console by 1.5 minutes. Only in a marathon setting, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 1:32.22 on my side, so.
But
that was pretty good.
That was New Super Lucky's Tale. done very quickly and very glitchy. And
So yeah, I just want to quickly say thank you, Steve, for helping me commentate. It's hard to commentate and play this game, especially with bonk hopping. Not only that, I hope that the 2 showcases today, whether you want to run any percent, beat the game as fast as possible while not seeing much of the game, or if you want to try maybe a longer category like this, where it's an hour and a half and you get to see every level in the game, and there's way more glitches, way more skips and stuff like that. I hope, or maybe you want to do all pages or hundo or anything. You should join the Discord. We are very accepting. We're very big into the game right now, especially with the new releases. That's really what makes it tick.
We have a Discord that, if you're interested in, go to the Discord. You can find it on the speedrun.com page. Join it, even if you're not like looking at speedrunning it, or you're playing through casually and then thinking about playing doing the speedrun. Everybody in there will help you out to do any trick. We're always looking for new runners. We always are supportive of new runners, even if they can be competitive runs. Like, that's what we do best with new people coming in and finding new strats. Like I said, I've been telling you all these strats that people, literally, I think every person in the community has found at least one trick or a second or another one. And it's just with optimization, small optimizations that we're constantly finding. I found that new trick 3 days ago that we're implementing into runs, and that we optimized that fluff and buttons and fluff fight like a week ago. It got completely optimized for that. So just join us, and we like to just talk and joke around and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also quick shout outs to the developers, specifically Paul Bettner, who is the lead producer and also like follows me on Twitter and likes all of our tweets on Twitter about the game. He's very speedrun friendly. They're all very speedrun friendly. I've had a few devs in my chat before cheering me on. It's really cool to be that close with the developers. I kind of like to think of it as like Celeste is another game I run where it's like that. And they also are so generous to give us like access to the new versions, test out everything, make sure it still works, and we got them before release. Yeah, so if you want to try running this game, if you have PC, you can run on that. If you have PS4, please run it so that I'm not alone on console. Please give me a run for my money. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I hope you were maybe interested in picking up the game, and yeah, thank you, GDQ, for letting us show off this awesome 3D platformer.
I've been waiting since 2017 for this to get on here, so this is a huge thing for me.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being on. Do you have any final shoutouts? I think you covered most of it.
Just all the runners.
Yeah.
Just
Just to the whole community. We honestly, I know this is gonna sound cheesy as heck, but we're basically like a family because we break this game.
Aww.
And every day we're finding something new. This game is never silent right now, so it's at its peak right now.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being on the show. King, Steve, White Paws. I have to cheat and look at the channel because I'm bad at names. Chris and Metoxy, thanks everybody for coming on and showing off this game. Like I mentioned earlier, the Community Spotlight is a show where we showcase community suggested games. So if you know of a game you think deserves the spotlight, doesn't get quite enough attention as it deserves, you can type !spotlight in chat. There's a form you can fill out to say, hey, I think this game should be on this show. You can also go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix/spotlight-form to get to the same form. And make sure you tune in tomorrow for Random Number Generation. It's a show about randomizers and the randomizer communities. So it's going to be a bunch of fun. They've got Celeste on. And of course, later this Friday, if you missed it for its premiere, the second episode of Super Boss Brothers is going to be on. The game show competition hosted by Big John and the Blacktastic, which is a bunch of fun. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we got plenty of more content coming up for you all on Hotfix. We're going to take a short break, play a few ads, and then we're going to raid someone. We would appreciate if you consider subscribing. It helps support these shows quite a bit. But otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, for Random Number Generation.